And a howdy. Welcome back to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. Today is an interesting one. How are y'all doing?
Hello, Sarah. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing good.
Hello. This is my new Sarah impression.
What?
My Sarah impression. Hello. I'm sorry. I think I'm very funny. Just throw that out there.
You think being the key word.
We were just talking about some funny things, some great things. I don't know if we can talk about those just yet, or at all, maybe.
I've got a video going out tomorrow about it. It's up to you, maybe. We can talk about it if you'd like to. It's your show.
Well, we'll get to it at the end. It'll be a fun little send-off because I know you only have an hour to be here. So real quick, before we jump into the Jennifer Salke news, just because I know you might not be here for all the CGI stuff at the end to kind of finish off the movies, would you like to know the top 5 TV shows for sci-fi in special effects ever?
Do it now.
The Expanse. Surprise, surprise. This one was kind of the contender that was a little bit contentious. Skeleton Crew. Beat out Andor for it.
Okay.
Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
Foundation.
Yeah.
And Babylon 5.
Okay. Did you eliminate Rings of Power because it's not sci-fi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There were a few of those. So we're going to do...
Babylon 5 at the time. That's the best example of sci-fi and special effects being done on a shoestring. So I would agree with that. That's a good list.
Yeah. It took a lot to get there, but we managed it somehow.
Movies is harder. Movies is hard.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have some infighting at the end of it, which is
fun. I
I
will throw in, I won't be here, Matrix and Predator. That would be my...
Matrix, Predator, and which one?
Matrix and the Predator.
Aye.
Those are my 3. Predator because it still stands up today, and it was I like that it's using special effects simply, and the Matrix because it was groundbreaking.
Oh,
it was.
Oh yeah. Okay, I will write both of those down while we're talking.
If you count Jurassic Park as a sci-fi, which it is, it's
the one that's already
done. I saw it at the cinema during COVID, and oh my god, I was still blown away by it. It's like 30 years old at that point or something. It's just phenomenally good.
All of them are so damn good.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jurassic Park, Matrix, and what was the
Predator. Predator. The first
Predator.
1985 Predator, whatever year it was for.
So before we jump into all the nominating, we will go ahead and jump on this topic because we got some stuff to talk about. I know we've all talked about a little bit.
Salke, naughty little minx.
Ooh.
I know a little bit more.
You obviously can talk about it more informed than the rest of us, so you want to just go ahead and catch us up to speed for those who might not have watched your video yet?
Well, do you know, like, I think it was about 18 months ago or a year ago, we put out there that Bob Hoskins, not Bob Hoskins, Hopkins, Andy Hopkins. Oh, why have his name got out of my head? I've said it about 10 times today. But anyway, her boss.
Steve Wright?
No, Steve Wright's the head of MGM Plus.
Yeah.
So Hopkins is her boss. And he's basically now took over her role as the final decision maker. And he basically, we heard that he basically gave her a bit of a bollocking, saying that he wasn't happy that they weren't taking advantage of the MGM IP very well. We're now hearing that actually at about the same time, he removed her final decision-making powers. And he stopped her from being able to greenlight anything without his approval. Right. And this was mainly down to Citadel. It's also, we're hearing more and more now as well, that the whole James Bond $1 billion thing was because of her and her creative decisions that just annoyed Barbara Broccoli from day one. And that actually she has been promoting and really concentrating on female-led projects and female-led like novels and stories and this sort of thing, neglecting everything else. And that has got to a point where it was just like, I we can't do this anymore, sort of thing. And Mike Hopkins has stepped in and gone, right, that's enough. Sort of
Just
thing.
unsustainable for the studio because there are 4 quadrants, and if you're only kind of advertising to one.
Yeah, we're ignoring other projects to concentrate on things that we don't necessarily want to do, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are those 3 factors. I mean, a lot of people jumped on Rings of Power. Sorry, my phone keeps going. Let me just turn it off. There we go.
Well, Rings of Power is an easy one, and so is Wheels of Time.
Yeah,
whatever.
I think Wheel of Time people have got more of a point because she has been quite heavily involved in Wheel of Time. But Rings of Power, she wasn't particularly. That was a Jeff Bezos thing.
Yeah,
he was the one that and a lot of those decisions were made before she had the job. So my understanding is they're not really wagging fingers about about Rings of Power. Wheel of Time, I don't know. But the other thing is, Amazon, they're not overjoyed with how Rings of Power have gone, but they're also not like thinking, oh God, this is bombed. And it's still the highest and the most watched thing they've ever produced, and the first few episodes at least. The second season was received a lot better, and they feel like gone in the right direction, and actually it does get good hours and good views for them. So the boy who talked to me just said, as far as they're concerned, it's okay. It's not great. It's not what they were hoping.
Well, because it's declining as much as it is.
Yeah, it's the cost.
But the numbers are still there.
Compared to the cost, it's sort of like, oh Jesus, this should have been pulling up trees, sort of thing, and it's just not. It's okay. Wheel of Time, I don't know. I tried to watch Wheel of Time and I couldn't get past the first episode. It seems really badly made to me. But
a great cast. It just doesn't seem interesting, I guess. Is that a bad way to say that?
Well, I think the critics quite like Wheel of Time. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but Wheel of Time is a lot to try to make into a show. I mean, the series, it's what, like 14 books or something long? So
it's Brandon Sanderson, right?
He helped write like the last couple books because what's his name? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on his name.
I'll Google real
quick. The author that originally wrote it passed away from cancer. So Sanderson kind of met with him, got his notes, and then finished basically the series.
Robert Jordan?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I've never read the books. I've never watched. Like I say, I couldn't watch the first season. The episode just read badly to me. It just didn't work for me. But apparently it's got better. I think Stormy's quite a big fan of Wheel of Time. I think.
Yeah.
I'm right thinking.
That would make sense.
So somebody must be watching it. I don't think it's ever appeared on the Nielsen rating. I don't think it's ever it's not pulling up any trees, but they keep making it. So Amazon can be stubborn when they dig their heels into things, though. They really can be stubborn. But not like Netflix. As soon as something doesn't, if something just does okay on Netflix, they scrap it immediately, regardless of how much money they spent on it. Like, oh,
right.
$200 million.
Yeah. It's like two extremes: either stay on it too long or jump off it too fast.
Yeah. But everything that we've been talking to you guys about over the last years has always come back to movie. And it's always been Jen Salke who's been pushing for it. And we're actually hearing, and I've heard sort of rumors over the time that Courtney Valentini, the head of movies at Amazon, didn't get on with Salke. But there's not the sort of things we talk about too much because it's a bit like when I keep hearing rumors that Alex Kurtzman's a Pratt. I don't want to share too much because you like saying again, it's opinion and there are agendas out there, and it's not worth getting into because it's just unpleasant, Right. But apparently, Courtney Valentini didn't get on with it, and that seems to be quite widely reported now. But what I was basically being told was Courtney Valentini was supposed to do the Stargate movie and was ordered to do the Stargate movie ages ago when we actually almost got it. But Courtney Valentini never really thought it was a good idea and actively tried to prevent it, sort of thing. Not because I mean, I don't know how she feels about Stargate as a whole, but I just think she thought it wasn't a good idea. It didn't fit what they were trying to do, sort of thing. So when they were sort of building up towards doing it and the strikes happened, she used that as an excuse to scrap it immediately, sort of thing, and got the bosses to sort of agree with her. So it seems to be more widely reported now that Courtney Valentini really didn't get on with Jen Salke. And they had different creative vision, sort of thing. But the TV guys, I want to say Bernie Sanders, but it's not Bernie Sanders because that's the reporter. It's something Sanders. It's not Bernie, but it's something Sanders. Vernon Sanders.
Vernon Sanders, yeah.
TV.
Apparently, I think I'd like Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders. So
Just
Bernie
yelling
Sanders,
at it.
the old Democrat, liberal.
With the mittens.
He's the big fan of Stargate, apparently. No, but Bernie Sanders is a big fan of, but basically he just agrees with Mike Wright. Mike Wright is the one that desperately wants Stargate. He's the one that fights for it, to the point where I heard rumors that he once, after a meeting where he was again sort of brick-walled about Stargate, kicked a bin across the room when he got back from the office. So whether that's true or not, we can't be sure, but I hope it's true.
Right.
Yeah, honestly.
So, but Mike Wright, and apparently Vernon Sanders has always sort of gone, look, if Mike Wright thinks so, then I think we back him, sort of thing. And so it feels like the person that was blocking or complicating the return of Stargate is gone, because Amazon always wanted it. Amazon wanted to buy Brad's Right Stargate back in 2019. They've always wanted Stargate, but it seemed that
so long ago.
Creatively, Jen Salke had a really awkward attitude towards things, and it's just got to a point where, but them saying that she stepped down and now we're going to do things, it's just not true. It's been, like I say, it's been a year since Mike Hopkins basically stepped in and went, right, okay, I'm taking a more hands-on role now. Right. But he's had his own problems, so he's sort of tried to stay behind Jen Salke to a point. I mean, apparently there was sexual harassment accusations and things, so he's always tried to sort of be in the background. But obviously now the confidence seems to be there now that they think, yeah, let's I need to take over. So, and creatively, I think he's going to be leaning on Vernon Sanders and Courtney Valentini a lot, and he's just going to be the manager, because that's his background. He's not a creative person, sort of thing. He was the James Gunn other person whose name I can't remember.
Peter Safran.
Yeah, he's the business guy, and and James Gunn's the creative. The theory was that Salke was the creative, but Salke has signed an exclusivity deal with Amazon, and that seems to be the sweetener to sort of get her to go quietly, basically.
Obviously, she has resigned. Do you think that is more
mutual agreement? Is basically,
yeah.
I think I was told she's got like 2 or 3 years left on her contract, so it's like and she has been paid off as well. So
that makes sense.
But I think the Bond thing, she basically cost Amazon $1 billion.
Yeah.
To
why don't get you fired?
Yeah. And she is being directly blamed for it because the creative decisions drove Barbara Broccoli up the wall, apparently.
Yeah.
She wanted like James Bond to be a less misogynistic character, and Barbara Broccoli was like, misogyny is the point.
Yeah, kind of.
Is, God damn it.
I mean,
and they wanted to modernize the character, and like, there's certain things that just makes James Bond. You can't do it.
Right.
So
definitely.
You can bring things in to show him like learning lessons along the way. Content. She called it content. And it was like, actually, Bond is the thing that you paid $8 billion for, basically. And I know there's lots of other things under the MGM bracket, but Bond was always the most important thing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Legally Blonde, of course.
Obviously, Legally Blonde.
Of course.
Think we care.
Well, I mean, obviously, we talk about Bond and Stargate, but Legally Blonde, as the example kind of has continued over time, is the simplest of the things to get out, done,
it was in pre-production when the sale went through. It was already in pre-production.
Well, the fact that it was going to be a sequel, right? It was always going to be a sequel, and now it's a prequel TV show.
Yeah.
Instead of, assumedly, this is just assuming, and assuming can make an ass out of you and me, but hopefully it's not, because it seems like the writing is on the wall. Because if it's going to be a sequel, she's going to have a daughter, and the daughter would probably be in high school kind of age around now to do that. So instead of having a sequel and a spin-off series that would be perfectly viable, it's taken 5 years to decide to scrap that. Let's do a prequel TV series and make that make sense.
And Reese Witherspoon is still apparently going to be in it because there's going to be like flashback, flash forward bits.
Yeah.
And she's
that's interesting.
producer and everything. And so, yeah, they could have just redone it. But anyway, I think the situation with hers changed since the 5 years ago when they're doing the thing. So her career has slightly changed. Things. So, doing like the Jennifer Aniston TV show and things like that. So
the morning show or something.
As much as anything else, that her schedule is different now.
Just Legally Blonde all the way up to Stargate and Bond. It's
been a cock up.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been on here. We've been at the forefront explaining to you guys how just incompetent Amazon has been with lots of things.
Yeah.
And how they can't seem to make a decision. But Jen Salke has genuinely been the problem on this. She's been the one that dug her heels in. And she's been the one apparently that's most recently been saying, well, let's just do a hard reboot then and pushing for a hard reboot. And literally everybody else has said that fans won't like it. And they keep going back to the Rings of Power problem. Then they said fans will go ballistic. It's not a good idea. But she refused to let that sort of lie. And she always said that that's probably the best way to go. She had a creative decision there that the rest of us don't agree with. But now she's gone.
Yay, I guess. Seems like a year ago we were talking about how is she still there? How is she having, like it seems like this was a long time coming because it seems like we talked about this before. Like, why is she still there? But I'm glad she's not now.
And again, I love it when we get little exclusives and things. So, I mean, when we get something nobody else knows. So when we found out about that, obviously we didn't appreciate quite how big a thing that was. The Mike Hopkins was basically, because we only heard not even half the story. We heard like a third of the story. He wasn't happy about this and he was going to take more of it. But actually he removed the thing, so we got an insight into what was going on there. Didn't quite realize quite how important it was or thing, but and then that basically they spent 12 months trying to come up with a solution to get her out to where everyone's happy. But it is Kathleen Kennedy mentality, and it's I've always thought that was a bit unfair, but it seems to be now there's more and more coming out that it does seem to be that she was very much trying to find female-led content. And there's some book that she got the deal for that she was trying to push with Kathleen Kennedy. I mean, that was written by a woman author, and she really pushed it. And they had Disney and them after and say like, no, we're not doing it. And somebody else has picked it up now, I think. But
Children of is not of. Is it Children of Blood and Bone? It's something like that, right?
And nobody wants to make it except for Kathleen Kennedy. But somebody else has picked it up now, so it's going to get done. But it sounds like Jennifer Salke was sort of similar, that she had this thing. And look, we've had loads of projects that were done by men, by Amazon, MGM, in the last couple of years, like say film after film. So it's not that she was just ignoring it, but it seems to be when she was prioritizing things, she maybe wasn't. She had a little bit of a, an agenda undercurrent there that was causing. So
that seems kind of obvious.
Well, the Kathleen Kennedy stuff, the comparison is obviously an easy one to make. But I get, I'm laughing at Chillin saying, let's not go crazy here, saying Kathleen Kennedy over Jennifer Salke. But at the end of the day, as much as we give Kathleen Kennedy gripe and crap, and deservedly so for a lot of it, again, she is one of the best producers that's ever been. But she's not a good studio head. There are different positions for different people. Salke did not belong.
I think Salke's a similar thing. They've basically, look, you're a great producer, but we're having problems with this thing. You can't get past certain blocks in your head, sort of thing, or whatever, or certain creative decisions. You can't see other visions.
And obviously we're looking from afar, but it almost seems like some of that hesitancy that Salke's had is maybe because of Kathleen Kennedy and everything. She sees, every time Kathleen Kennedy hires a new creative to make a project, they butt heads and either they leave or they scrap the project and find somebody else to do it. Butt head.
Maybe they thought they were in competition with each other or something. You know, it's like two women head of studios.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe there was a imagined.
Possibly.
But,
It just feels like such a uncalculated, calculated kind of thing. It feels like she was trying to be calculated the entire time, and in that over calculation, there was just no calculation because nothing happened. And whether Kathleen Kennedy made some bad things and some really good things, she at least made something. Where Salke's just been piddling and peddling along, where there's been nothing. So I would put Kathleen Kennedy over Jennifer Salke, and over the last few years at least. And
I think Amazon's ambitions were not being met.
Right.
And some of that's not her fault. I mean, some of it is like the studio problem.
Right.
Was not her fault. They didn't have any studio space, so they're now getting it. I think it's basically. It seems to me the problem is Mike Hopkins thinks she's prioritized the wrong things over time, and obviously the Bond thing was a massive problem.
Right.
You know, that cost them £1 billion. So that's not a small amount of money. So somebody's head was going to roll over that. I actually said I can't remember who I was talking to. I think I was on a live. And as soon as that was announced, we sort of said somebody's getting fired over that. But we didn't know, and it was Salke. So, but you know, you don't get a mistake that costs a company £1 billion and nobody loses their job over it. You know, so it just doesn't happen.
Right.
So, but it seems to be that obviously Mike Hopkins coming in and taking away her green light powers happened a year ago. So he was obviously a year ago saying she's prioritizing the wrong things here and trying to get her to prioritize the right things. And that would have been about the time that they were flip-flopping over movie as far as Stargate goes. I think it was about a year ago they decided movie. I think that was when it seemed to be, that would be about right, wouldn't it? Just before last Christmas. They seem to switch back to movies. So it's flip-flopped so many times, it's hard to keep. Even for
and then
me,
the strikes in the middle of all that too.
Yeah. So they went movie, then the strikes happened, then they flipped back to MGM Plus were desperately pushing for a series. But we kept saying, even though they're pushing for it, and they kept having these meetings where they were bringing all these demographics and like saying, look, we want to do a series because of this, this, and this. And Amazon were there going, that's fascinating, lovely. And then not coming back to them. And we know from talking to a guy at MGM that they were looking at a series, but again, Amazon, they were letting them like look into it, but then never actually like agreeing to anything. And then at some point around the Sony deal, which is again nearly 12 months ago, the first time they started, they seem to switch back to a movie again. But the flip flopping is honestly, I need to write a book on this because it's just astonishing.
It is a little like, what the hell? Anyway,
it's just, you just think of these people as being more professional than this.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's $100 million, $200 million in things. You just think, it just feels like they should be more professional. They should know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And when you then find out that they're arguing amongst themselves and flip-flopping, and you just think, what? But I mean, I suppose we all know from our own work history, not Harris because he's a child, but from Sarah, me and you, from working for a living, that actually bosses generally tend to don't know what the hell they're doing, or feels like it sometimes. So
it feels like it, yeah.
So maybe we shouldn't be surprised, but it just, I don't know, it just feels like the left hand didn't know what the right hand was doing, and
it feels like a lot of death by committee over the last few years.
That's a big thing with it. Does seem to be Amazon. I've always been told Amazon Pictures is run by like a business more than other studios. Other studios, they do run a bit differently, where creative people are more in control and things, and the business stuff is always just it always sort of comes a little bit secondary. So they will pick a project and go, okay, we'd love to do this, and then the business people will come in afterwards and sort of bean count it and do all their bits. It seems like Amazon do that bit first. I mean, because we again know from Stargate, they've done questionnaires, they've done PR exercises, and several times, and that tends to be the sort of thing that's done later with other studios, it seems. Again, talking to different people, obviously different studios behave differently under different bosses, but I've always been told Amazon run like a boss. They run a movie or a TV series is a commodity. Content. It's a commodity, and they treat it like a new thing that they're going to sell on Amazon Prime. You know, like a new electric bikes are now a thing.
Yeah.
Let's do the thing and let's see what people want to do it. And you know what? How much should we charge? And they do that sort of work before they think about the creative stuff. Whereas studios tend to go, "That's a brilliant idea. We love it. Okay, now let's have a think about the practicalities afterwards," sort of thing. But it's the world we live in.
Yeah.
The world we live in.
Yeah, and Amazon Prime are probably the wealthiest studio, other than maybe Apple. Only because did you see this thing about Apple not long ago? How much money they've lost? Apple Plus, how much money Apple have been putting into Apple Plus, and it's just been pissed away. It's billions. I can't remember the exact figure now. I'll have to Google it, but it's a lot. And when I saw it, I was just like, "Oh crap!"
They're the only ones that can do that too.
Yeah.
But at least they're making good stuff. Like all that stuff will last for forever because of the quality of it.
I mean, like Disney Plus losing 500 million a quarter. It's that sort of level of loss. Still doing it. I was just like, fair play, Apple, well done. Like, commitment. But yeah, the future is going to be a little odd.
Yeah.
About 10 minutes. Do you want me to talk about the other thing?
Yeah, okay. Because I was going to mention maybe shows that are already actively going on that might have some switch ups or some interesting things happen to them, but we can talk about that right after. Because this is an exclusive from Jay real quick. That was pretty fun.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, my phone went ding as I got a message on X, which I don't get messages on X, so I was a bit surprised. And when I looked at it, it was Anson Mount from Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Which again, my instinct was it won't really be him. It'll be a fake account, because I get that a lot. I actually do get messages from all sorts of people, and it turns out it's fake accounts just trying to mess with you or whatever. But no, I checked, and no, it was Anson Mount. I did a video saying that there was a bunch of reshoots done on Strange New World Series 3, and that was the delay, and it was basically politically motivated because they felt it was a bit too woke, and Paramount are trying to keep Trump on side at the moment. I then, to be fair, got a second source that come to me and said there was they didn't say it wasn't reshoots, but they just said there were changes. They didn't actually reference reshoots. And I made the error of not twigging that, to be fair. I just went, I've got one person saying reshoots. I've got somebody else completely separately saying there's a load of changes going on. I didn't twig the difference. And so that's
use the buzzword.
Yeah. I did. That's my bad. So Anson Mount said, look, there is no reshoots going on. It hasn't happened. It's not true. And but he actually very clearly said, I don't know why it's delayed, but it's not that. He's very polite, really nice about it. So I messaged him back saying, look, is you saying there's no reshoots at all been done? And he said, no, they would cost in this current financial climate, we wouldn't do reshoots anyway. And he actually said, we're not sat around thinking about ways to poke fun at the bozo that is Donald Trump. He's too small a problem, or it's too small a he didn't say problem, topic. It's too small a topic,
right?
Yeah. Like, it's like, who cares about Donald Trump? And I'm like, yeah, sorry, Anson, that's not true. Star Trek's always been quite politically motivated. Donald Trump So my understanding is what I think has happened is there's been a little bit of Chinese whispers. So the first source is more of a legal guy. He does work for Paramount, but he's more on the legal business side of things. I think he's heard about changes, and there's through Chinese whispers, it's got up to like reshoots. Somebody actually much closer to it came to me later. I said, no, there's been changes, never said reshoots. So that could just be editing though. They're editing or changing things a little bit. The end result is basically the same. They are changing the episodes to tone down some of the stuff that they think the Republican Party might not like. And Anson Mount basically said, look, that doesn't happen. I've never known that happen. They leave us alone, we leave them alone. Politics, we wouldn't change anything because of politics. And I have messaged him back just to point out we're in a slightly unusual situation at the moment. And it's kind of unique. We've never been in this situation before. Government has never tried to force an ideology on a studio like the Trump administration is at the moment. Whether you agree with DEIA and stuff like this or not, this has never happened, not to this level. And the Trump administration is using the FCC to try and force Paramount to drop DEIA and things that they call woke ideology. I think that's a massive overreach of power. I don't think that's remotely what the FCC is supposed to be for. But they have, and the new head of the FCC has openly said they will block the sale. So I don't think Anson Mount quite appreciates the political situation and the pressure Paramount are under at the moment. So yeah, okay, fair enough. There haven't been any reshoots, and I'm more than happy to make that correction. But it does seem that episodes are being changed and edited differently, or however they're doing it to make it a little less. So the thing is, it doesn't even have to directly criticize Trump. They've only got to think it does as well. They've just got to say like, oh, it's if it's even sort of anything is implied. So I think it sounds like they've gone through it with a fine-tooth comb, almost going, is there anything here that will annoy Donald Trump? And if it has, they're saying, oh, we need to maybe tweak that. Let's move away from it. And considering their situation at the moment, I'm not sure I blame them, because it's a multi-billion-dollar deal, and they're being directly threatened. So they're thinking, well, there's nothing we can do about this, but there are things that we can do to try to appease them. And this might be one thing they're trying to do. So that
would you
seems to be.
Compare this to the Disney buying Fox in some ways, kind of during, obviously there's larger things going on. It's the same administration, I guess, as when that was going on. But do you think it's just a different approach? Is kind of
the Trump administration seems to be very much, no, they've got 4 years. They may only actually have 2 years. Once the midterms hit, they could lose the House and the Senate.
Right.
Yeah. Which happens all the time. And then he's a lame duck president, basically. So it does feel like they're like, right, we've got 2 years. We need to get everything we want done in 2 years. And that's why they're not being subtle. They're not negotiating. They are going it through a bull in a china shop. And again, I don't necessarily blame them. At the end of the day, they're doing things that they believe in. I don't agree with a lot of it, but they do, and they're right. We've got 2 years to get it done, and they are getting it done. They're getting shit done, whether you like it or not, sort of thing. So I think there's an element of that more than that this is a negotiation tactic or whatever. This is just them basically going, we want DEI gone, we want woke agenda gone, we want to change America. The media is a very important part of that solution. We've got an opportunity here with Paramount to basically get them to do what we want. We've got them by the short and curly. So what do we want? And that seems to be what's happening. And actually, to be fair, the Star Trek thing, I think actually is quite a small part of that cog, because I've again, in my first video, I said there were very minor changes that I was told were happening. It was not big sweeping changes to the episodes. It was minor stuff.
Right.
But it only takes one or two lines that they feel is aimed at them, whatever, to cause a stink. And they've gone through it and gone, well, let's take out anything that's a little bit controversial or a little bit. And I'm not sure where I sit in that. The government shouldn't be doing that.
No.
But at the same time, they're doing what they think. That's not far off.
It's not necessarily becoming state TV, but do you remember what TV has always been referred to as since the get-go? TV or television programming. It's always been propaganda. The whole point in it. And the
CIA used to invest in movies and things back in the 80s.
Totally. I don't like the way anything's going about. The don't mention the word orange. One way or another, it's not being approached right. The just the DEI and woke stuff, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, just the approach that has been taken towards it has killed the industry. It is the reason there is only 4 to 6 movies or TV projects together happening in Hollywood at a time nowadays. It's spread it out because you're literally blocking out a good chunk of the world. Like it's just as bad as doing it the other way. It's two wrongs never make a right, and never have, and probably never will. And again, just because that wrong was so bad and it started changing stuff up, doesn't mean, hey, let's take these like executive orders to do this and rework it the exact opposite way. Start working it back the opposite way, because hell, if something swings too far one way, that pendulum, guess what? It rests in the middle better than it does this way or that way on either side. You know, it's better in that middle, so on and so forth. Long story short, whether you're on either side of it, a studio has to appeal to 4 quadrants, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
If it's not trying to appeal to 4 quadrants, you're actively disillusioning other quadrants. Unless it's children, and then that doesn't necessarily matter if you're not making children's television or children's programming, for lack of a better word, which is still what it is. We just got to be wary of it, and this is not the right approach. I don't think any of us are in love talking all the woke BS that we've had to talk the last 4 or 5 years. It's like that's just a big eye roll of a conversation at this point.
Yeah.
It's not good. It didn't work. But that doesn't mean you have to do the exact opposite and triple and quadruple down on it. Because the same thing can happen again, vice versa, next time. And none of us want to keep going back and forth and back and forth. It's just annoying.
I do have to go. I'm sorry. Our clocks went forward and it's kind of screwed me up because I've got a medical thing tomorrow and I need to eat before I think. But I'm just going to say quickly, as far as I'm concerned, the whole woke agenda thing, there's always been politics in media. Always has been, always will be. Writers have things they want to say in stuff they do. I will argue that I think a lot of stuff currently, because of the way the streaming things happen, that everything's sort of sped up a little bit, and I think writing isn't as good as it used to be. I think there's too much content and not enough writers. Too many shows, too many movies, and it's just not good. It's not as good as it was.
Right.
But I do think Hollywood and the Me Too movement massively overcorrected. They realized basically everybody stood up and went, "You've been sexist and racist for a century. Stop it." And they went, "Oh, okay." And they went massively the other way. And they were so afraid of being called sexist, racist, anything elseist, they just went to that extreme on the other side. We need to bring them back to more central. The problem is that there's been such a massive reaction to their overcorrection. Rightfully, a lot of the time people shout woke at things. You got to go, I got a point. I hate the word. I hate it. You know I do. I hate it. It's not. It means racial equality. It doesn't mean what it means. But we're stuck with it now. Right. But a lot of the time they've got a point. Bigots, racists, sexists jump on the woke bandwagon and they go, yeah, we hate this. And really, they just hate women. But that's fine. But a lot of people have got really angry and they've got a good point. Because we've seen this massive overcorrection. Ghostbusters with boobs is always my biggest example I use. And you can't watch that film without knowing that the makers just sort of went, I think somebody went early on in the news, the Ghostbusters can't be with women, that's silly. And they went, can't it? And they just made the film about that. And it's not a good film. It's just all over it. And it's just like, oh, this stinks. But it's a bad film more than anything else. And I think we need to get Hollywood back to a central ground. Yeah, 100%. They need to calm down with a lot of things. But anybody that says all this propaganda and all this shoving it down our throats never used to happen is forgetting, because it did. It always did. I think, though, the difference is we forget those TV shows and those movies that do that because they're not very good and we didn't watch them again, you know what I mean? And it's like we remember the good stuff and we don't remember the bad stuff. But it's always been the same way. There was so much anti-communism stuff in the 80s and 90s that was just propaganda. We ignored that. So
the only time the only time I guess government might have been more involved, at least stateside wise, in film and TV was McCarthy era. And it feels like the last 4 years was like anti-McCarthy, and now it's kind of going back to McCarthy. And like you're saying, compromise is two separate parties not agreeing on everything and finding that middle ground. That's kind of where we all live. Can we just find our way back to that middle ground? Like,
studios need to get back to letting writers say what they want to say without them having a committee over the top of them going, have you remembered to say that we're not racist? And like, oh no, I haven't. Sorry, I'll add something. Have you remembered to say we're not sexist? They're like, oh yeah, no, okay, I'll add something. Let the writers say what they want to say, and have that discussion without then a committee, which is what Connor was, not Connor. The interview you did.
Oh, Colin.
Colin. It was basically what he was saying. There's a committee and they've got to check a bunch of boxes. That's what we've got to get. Let the writers write and say what they want to say. We then don't have to tick a load of boxes. Yeah. Let creatively people will do that and that's what we need to get away from. I really have to run, sorry, because my dinner's in it will burn. So I need to eat. Thank you, Dave. And Dave, your picture, by the way. Oh, it's good. You are good at that. Get it and put it on the screen. It's amazing.
Yeah. We should show his stuff that he's doing. It's really good.
Yeah. He's got very, very good at it. Anyway, I gotta run.
So good.
All right. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you, brother. Be safe.
And you.
All right. Let me find this real quick because that's so funny. Actually, it's great. Outside of, I guess, going back to some Jen Salke stuff real quick. Can I bring this up in a different tab? Let me see if I can copy paste. Oh, come on. I was thinking about maybe, does this have anything that is going to affect the Jen Salke aspect of things? Does this have anything that will affect shows already happening, currently going on? Obviously, Citadel was a big part of this decision making. It's like, all right, you greenlight 2 shows and toss a few $100 million at things, and nothing ever happens with it. And the show, it wasn't given very good support. First off, to get the viewership necessary to necessitate those dollars going towards it like that as well. Obviously, that's a big thing. But what do you think this has to do with The Boys or Invincible or some of their other bigger shows that they have? I don't know if this will affect any of like their Tracker or the Reacher or anything like that. Those kind of spy
I don't get that feeling.
But do you think maybe The Boys has been their big heavy hitter for half a decade now? We've got 50 seasons of The Boys. No, almost for half a decade at this point. How important was Salke to The Boys? Not ultimately all that much.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
While we're kind of in that political talk just before, like, trying to find our way out of it in a way as well. Obviously, season 4 of The Boys got very, 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 very political. And it was very political beforehand, but it guised itself in quality storytelling, and it forgot to tell a particularly good quality story in season 4 and kind of rushed it along to kind of add the politics into it and add that politicalization to it. Obviously, that wasn't a big hit, so maybe they're already naturally thinking against that. But yeah, I think it will be much more political, but maybe that is going to have to take a tone down after Salke leaves. Do you think that will have anything happen in it with that kind of degree or era or genre of, I guess, what's going on? Shush, I've not watched season 4 yet. No spoilers or anything. Just know it gets very political. Unnecessarily so, if that makes sense. It's less about what's already going on, but what's going to happen to what's in development.
Right.
And that's another thing that I was thinking about. Obviously, Invincible is their other big heavy hitter that people just love right now and go back and back to. And yeah, it's getting another season next year. It took 2 years to get a season 2 and 2 years to get a season 3, or a year and a half, I guess, to get a season 3. will this allow money to flow to the correct properties at Amazon and Prime, where the things that are actually doing well for them might have more money going towards them? Because Invincible is famous for not having much money and letting you know they don't have much money and saying, hey, be patient with us, please. Can that change?
What, you think more money will go to other things rather than Invincible?
Well, I guess if the quote-unquote agenda that Salke had is no longer going to be prevalent per se, will that allow money to flow towards the things that, instead of the wishful thinking, I guess, is this more realistic in saying, hey, we can put money where we're getting money?
Yes, I don't know. I'm a little confused. I don't think, as far as like Invincible and The Boys, I think those are like pretty successful shows. I haven't watched them. I mean, I've seen some, but I haven't. I think I watched like the first season of The Boys, and it's just not for me.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think that those will probably stay about where they're at. I mean, I don't know. They're probably winding down a series anyway, because I mean, it sounds like The Boys is kind of having a hard time coming up with ideas to keep it going. Like it's going too crazy or whatever, just from what I hear people say. My husband does watch it too. But I don't know, I think they've already got amounts allocated to, I think they have an idea of what they want to spend on Stargate and all that other stuff. It's just hopefully that roadblock is removed now and we'll get some stuff rolling here. Like, it seems like they should, get as much as we joke about Legally Blonde, that should be just done at this point, just get it done. And I like the idea of doing the sequel because, I mean, Reese Witherspoon actually has a teenage daughter that looks a lot like her. If you see pictures,
Just
it's
like
crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's like she could, if she's an actress, like they could just do real mother-daughter thing. It would be cool. Why not?
Pursue the happiness with it a little.
Yeah. So it's like, just, I mean, everybody's, wants Stargate, loves Stargate, Amazon wants Stargate to be their Star Wars, their Star Trek. It's like, let's just do it, And I like the idea, if you've watched that video that Darren from Gateworld put out about doing an anthology as like a first season, I think that's a great idea. I think they should just get that going and just get something, something, or a mini series, or maybe it's a straight to streaming movie or whatever. But it's like, I'm just curious what's going to happen now that, things have been kind of simplified, cleared the way, whatever you want to say. But
I think hopefully long term it'll simplify and clear the door. I think short term it might muck it up just a little bit, because there are going to be all these different opinions now, and whether we agreed with the way Salke was kind of leaning towards with whatever 6 months out of the year it was, because it seemed to change a lot.
Right.
Now I guess Mike Hopkins will be that head for that. Okay, well, this is kind of what I'm thinking is the best for Stargate, and this is what we're going to go with. Because I do like the idea of an anthology, and I like the idea of a miniseries. The one thing I think Salke had right, obviously I'm in the minority here, and I understand that.
Movie, yeah.
It's the one thing that, hell, if Amazon wants to bring Stargate back, if Stargate fans want to bring Stargate back, it is the most revered way you could bring Stargate. It is if people with most reverence, if they wanted to bring Stargate back and allow it to have reverence for the rest of its life, bring it back with a movie. A TV show is not the way to do it to start off. Like we were talking about earlier, there are too many TV shows going on right now. There's too much saturation. We all love it. It'll have its natural audience. But it won't be able to. It's going to cannibalize its own audience, and it's going to cannibalize other audiences that are going to be pissed off at it because of that. A movie is, I know it's not the most popular thought. It is
Right.
by far the most sensible,
Right.
monetarily responsible, and
Right.
respectful thing that we could do for Stargate or have done for Stargate.
Right. I think I'm on your side on this. At first, I was more like do a mini series, and I still like that idea.
I love it.
But I think, if you're bringing it back, it originally started with a movie and then a series. So why not kind of repeat that? It would be sort of cool.
It would be great. And that natural
Yeah.
audience is there. And at that
Mhm.
point, you don't have a trepidatious audience. We will have some trepidation, like, oh God, we want it to be good. We want it to be good.
Right.
But if they go through the movie and they have made a movie, think of how excited we're going to be. The second we get that trailer, even if it's not the best trailer in the world, if it's like a super solid B movie Stargate, we're still going to be like, yes,
It'll just be like, awesome. Yes, Stargate is back. It'd be cool if they could do it like somehow find a way to make it like a standalone movie, but yet it has something in it that leads into a series starting. Like a door there for a series to start.
And like every time we start talking about, oh, well, how could they bring Stargate back?
Right.
There's 70 different avenues they could take. And there's going to be a few of those in the movie. Like, it just makes sense. But if the movie bombs and there's a fair chance of it, then the series is sunk before it's out. That doesn't matter. That gives you a litmus test one way or another, because I kind of gets trailed off for a second with a series. I know we all want a series, and that gives us the most amount of time with our characters, and that gives us time with Stargate, which is awesome. But we're going to be trepidatious. It's not going to bring in new people. We're all going to be very, very cautious watching it, and we're probably not going to tell people to watch it until 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 episodes in, maybe the whole season if it's not great. If it's a movie, what are we going to do? We're going to go see it. We're going to go see it, and we're going to, even if we don't really enjoy it, we'll still probably try to convince people to go see it just because, hey, this was a really fun time nonetheless.
Right.
It's not going to win the Oscars this year.
Go see it to support it so that we get more, and maybe it will be better instead of just like, people just being like, oh, if the movie isn't great or whatever, like instead of just like, hating it, just like, I don't know, maybe support it and give the studios a message that we want more of this. But then, I don't know, but how do you get the message across that we want it to be better, if it's not good, but it's just hard to say. I mean, it's just, how do we need to keep it going.
Yes.
If it's possible. And hopefully we get, maybe, at least, it's like if they could bring just Brad Wright as a consultant at the minimum would be great.
Lotzi, right.
I don't think he'd want to show run it and do all that, but I think get him in just to at least say, be a consultant, kind of be like, this is what you're doing right, this is maybe where you need to change it, whatever, sort of help keep it on the correct course. I think if you get a lot of some of the original cast back, they're going to help out a lot with that too, because they know it that well as also. So
that's the hope. I think 5 years ago, Brad Wright would have been totally in for it. I think there's too much love lost at this point.
Right.
But just if they sink $200 million, they won't. We already know they're not going to sink $200 million into it. We've already talked about what a budget would be, and it's probably in the 60 to 80 million range for a movie. 85 is what the creator did, and we will talk about the creator in a little bit with the Chevron Awards, of course. But it's not going to cost that much. They wouldn't spend that much for it. And again, as I know, especially with the personal thought process there, David, as long as the movie is available at cinema and at home at the same time, hell no. Because I am not sharing Stargate with a bunch of Muppets using phone and eating loudly and talking. Welcome to the world. Sorry, it's just existence. That's the world. And if Stargate does this, it will lose so much money, and there will not be a point in making a movie at all. There's no point in making a movie if you're going to make a TV movie and put it on Prime if that's the way you're going to do that. It needs to go to movie theaters. It needs to make money. There's a reason Netflix is starting to finally bite the bullet and put things in theaters, and they're not doing it for long. They're only doing it like Austin, San Francisco, LA, New York, Atlanta, and like certain things like that. But they're putting it out there for 2 weeks to a month at a time at this point, because that is the best way for people to go back on their streaming service and want to watch it again later and watch the shows that come off of those like that. Like that's not an opinion. It is a factual thing that Netflix hates and has had to take a decade to finally like work itself back around to and say, hey, we need to start putting things in theater. It will cannibalize itself going straight to streaming.
Right. I just hope they put the key, I think, is to well, not just make a movie that fans, you know, it's going to draw in new people and keep old fans happy or satisfied at least.
Yeah.
You know,
Intrigued.
but they put some good marketing into it. Hopefully, they get some good marketing in it. They get, you know, the cast out there doing junkets and panels, and I mean, they kind of are, you know, they do that anyway. But you know, like really putting some real money into promoting it and like really kind of, you know, going with this is sort of like the, how do I want to say it? Like the sort of like one of the three, you know, Star Wars, Star Trek, let's get Stargate up there to be kind of on that same thing.
Have it on that trinity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
It's just such an interesting, I guess, place to be as a fan, because you want it to happen, but there are so many.
It's hard because it's like you want it and then it's sort of scary, and maybe Amazon is kind of having those feelings too, but it's like at some point you just got to do it. Something's got to happen, you know, and I don't know, you know, start making phone calls to not just Brad Wright, but, you know, the other guys too, and that have, you know, written for Stargate and stuff in the past, you know, like
Paul Mully, Joseph
one of those guys would be willing to do something. They have to be, you know what I mean? I mean, you would think, unless they just, you know, hate, but maybe, you know, if Salke was the problem, maybe with her being gone, there may be more open communication.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you're talking with marketing as well.
Yeah.
They could market it. They could purposely put their money in specific ways and market it smartly in a way where, okay, obviously this is not going to be a hard reboot if they're marketing it this way, but hire Jason Momoa, have him in it for 5 minutes.
Kill him off. No.
5 minutes. Don't do not kill him.
No, I'm just kidding. But,
they might have to kill O'Neill off though. Like,
yeah. Well, I've always wanted that. I've always been like, have him go out like in a blaze of glory or whatever, and have clone Jack come in, a different younger actor, you know, who would be about the right age, like probably in their 30s, right? Or so. Because he was like a teenager, I think, when they left him or whatever. You know, and have that and just say like, oh, he had to get plastic surgery or whatever because we can't have somebody that looks exactly like Jack O'Neill running around, or, you know, you could easily like come up with some reason why he looks different, whatever.
Oh yeah.
And then just, you know, sort of have a new Jack O'Neill, you know. You could still have the character, you know. You just have to find somebody that can kind of do RDA but a little bit different, you know?
Yeah. And well, like, whether whoever they bring back, if of course we're talking this is a smart marketing where they don't have to spend as much money on the marketing thing because you have cool stars willing to go out there to talk about things, and they probably have half a dozen other movies coming out and half a dozen other TV shows coming out that they can kind of on those press junkets be asked about Stargate or sprinkle in a little Stargate news or something like that, you know?
Right.
Momoa is obviously the easy person just to pop off because hell, he's talking. He almost spoiled Lobo stuff, and his publisher was in the back of the interview saying, "No, to not show the interview or the pictures you're about to show." It was like, it's pretty funny,
right? Yeah, I think Jason Momoa would be down to come back because I think he really feels like Stargate is what gave him his, you know, that's what kicked off his career at Atlantis, you know. So I think he's more than willing to do something, you know.
Baywatch put him on the map, and then he took that surfboard a little bit further and found a floating city, and he has been very well on the map ever since.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I guess I'm not saying go hire all the old cast and have just a big nostalgia bait movie like and have all these old. I would say be very particular. And that's the one thing I don't know how you'd fit Ronan Dex. There are plenty of ways you could fit him into story, but also there are ones more apt to do that. I'm just thinking to get new fans to a series, you want one of the bigger stars that maybe the world knows, not just Stargate fans.
Yeah, I think Jason Momoa would be. I mean, he'd be the only one that could do that because at this point, RDA has been out of the picture so long. It's not like because originally it was like, oh, MacGyver, but that's so like a long time ago now.
You could get Robert Carlyle, but
I
think that group of people is already watching Stargate at this point because of SG.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't know any other actor that'd be as poised to bring in as many people as Momoa would be.
Mm-hmm.
From just Stargate heavy hitters. Obviously, there are plenty, but he's just the easy target, I guess, for that.
Right, and he's because of it's
Aquaman Lobo
out there right now. What's the latest thing he did? Anyway, I can't think of.
Well, Jason Momoa's newest movie coming out this Thursday, Minecraft.
Oh, that's right.
I'm not excited about that one. I was so excited about
it. Maybe he's kind of
there's a bit of an ebb and flow at times.
But hey, just Stargate. There you go. Hopefully. That would be
anyway. Jensen would be great. Jensen Ackles. Kids will eat this up. Oh, the Minecraft movie or Jason Momoa in Stargate? As long as
how about Jensen Ackles in Stargate? Hey, I'd be cool.
He would fit.
I love Supernatural. So
I'm not the biggest Supernatural person, but from just him and the boys and the few other little small things I've seen him in, the dude's good.
Yeah.
And he would bring some good. He'd almost have. Just thinking about what he's done in the past, obviously, he feels like he'd kind of take almost like a Greer in SGU kind of position.
Right.
But probably just knowing him, be able to bring even more gravitas, or at least the writers would afford him the ability to bring more gravitas. Minecraft will gross to be a top 10 box office this year. I hope not.
Probably, but it'll be kids. Probably.
I hope Lilo and Stitch blows it out the water.
Yeah.
Go Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Just check the chat. Oh, Jensen Ackles is a 40-year-old RDA. He was born to play the new Jack or someone related to Jack. Yeah, literally, dang.
He could do that. I think he might be a little too old to be the clone, but he could be like that type character. It'd be a different name, I think. But he could be that character for sure.
Maybe the clone's not as Jack O'Neill as what was so focused on trying to be Jack O'Neill that at some point in his life that he ended up being just a totally different person. But his best friend is like as close to a Jack O'Neill kind of counterpart we could find. I don't know. I'm just balling.
Yeah. There's a million. There's so much. I don't know if you watched. I think I watched that. Let me bring it up, but that Gate World. Just interviewed Dial the Gate. They did a live stream.
Yeah. I was there for like the beginning and the very
end. That was really good, and they got into like there's so many different loose thread. There's so many loose threads there you could pick up, just a ton, of things you could do. And anyway, well,
I'm excited.
The thing I got out of that interview though is that David was saying that the Modern Museum of Art here in Seattle bought like the Stargate prop, and they have it. And as far as he knows, they haven't sold it. And it's just, so I think they have a Stargate just sitting in storage somewhere. And I'm like, what? It's just sitting.
So we need to get a couple dollars together and buy a Stargate real quick.
Exactly.
Please.
Yeah.
Happy one. What are you talking about? Harris and Sarah, please check out the footage and see if the outside filming is Stargate. Happy One. I watch every video they release. So when was this shown on DJ Audits? Oh, a DJ Audit something? Could you clarify? I'm just it's a lot to scroll through and try to find everything. If you could clarify, that'd be awesome. While we are right here, real quick.
DJ Media. Okay. I'll have to check it out. I haven't.
Bring up the wonderfulness that is David's creation. I wish I could zoom in on here. It's just like the single photo.
Yeah.
But obviously we're turned into the Wizard of Oz here.
Yeah.
And it's great. I'm sure it'll be on the
I
SciTrek
almost put
page.
like Dorothy under my name, but then I thought nobody's going to get what that means.
DJE Media? Okay. Let me write that down. I will check that out right after. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Put it down here. And you know what? While I'm grabbing this board over here, DJE Media, shall I read off what we have already?
Segue.
So
Here we go.
far.
Speaking of movies, I don't know if that one has great special effects, but I don't know, Wizard of Oz, because Wizard of Oz be on the list. Has some with special effects? Probably not. I don't think so, but anyway.
I mean, it could
It had
be.
some cool things in it. Now, I mean, it's been a long time since I watched it, but
I am sending the call for a little backup, maybe, just in case. I see. Obviously, don't want to put you on the spot, Aaron, but if you want to come hang out and help us whittle some stuff down, come hang out, my friend. But if not, obviously, that's super last second. And I'm just thinking out loud kind of deal, because I know we talked about talking Salke and all that. So after all this, we can get back into that. Before we talk about what we watched this week, too, because I've got a long list on that one. But y'all ready for this list?
sure.
Back to the CGI and special effects Chevron Awards. What we have so far for the film aspect, we've got Jurassic Park. We've got The Matrix, Predator, Avatar, Star Wars, the trilogy, Tron, Terminator, T2, Dune 1984, Dune 20 whatever it was, the new Dune, Dune 2, 2001, The Abyss, Star Trek First Contact, The Creator, Alien Trilogy, Ready Player One, The Thing, Godzilla 1954, and Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
That's what we have so far.
Oh, we're sticking with sci-fi. Just how, since this first one we're doing is like of all time, I think to help narrow it in, we should focus on things that maybe had groundbreaking things, just to help narrow it down.
Definitely agree.
Yeah.
First Contact still looks good to this day. When is First Contact?
That was 96. I'm just guessing.
Event Horizon's good. I guess What period of Star Trek is First Contact? Is that
It's one of the TNG movies. It's the second TNG movie. I'm looking up exactly.
Is it groundbreaking, I guess, in that sense?
It has good special effects, but I wouldn't say it was anything groundbreaking. I wouldn't. It's a really good movie, a good Star Trek movie. It's what everybody's like usually on the top of the list as far as like the Star Trek movies go. Like First Contact is usually like right there at the top or second. But I don't know if the special effects, I don't think the special effects are anything groundbreaking or extraordinary. So I wouldn't have it on the list as far as special effects go. Yeah, 96
Well,
when that came out.
Yeah, because I was kind of asking, because if it was an older one,
I mean, the Borg Queen, but that's more makeup than it is like special effects. And there's been movies that have done makeup that well before. So.
Oh no, we said the original trilogy. Oh well, we could also do Revenge of the Sith, because Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace are not going to win that one. But Revenge of the Sith looks great.
But as far as groundbreaking, again, I guess it had a lot of the robot CGI, and then the episodes 1 to 3, I guess is what we call them now. The episode is pretty good. Is it groundbreaking?
That's the thing.
I'm not sure about that. It's good for its time.
Well, it was groundbreaking,
right.
But was it as groundbreaking as, say, Lord of the Rings during that time? And it took a lot of the things that it was Lord of the Rings was doing and kind of bumped. I guess they did kind of share things, because they got.
I guess you could say it's equal one sort of. You could put them on almost the same level. It's just one's sci-fi, one's fantasy. I think the Lord of the Rings looked better to me.
Yeah,
but
definitely. But that's also because it's real environments too.
Right. The original Blade Runner could be on that list too. Is kind of groundbreaking, I think, too.
Yeah, the ones I've added real quick, because I think it was been suggested Highlander. Highlander's just not sci-fi. Of course, it kind of turns into sci-fi, but it doesn't look good enough to put it on here either.
No, it's not.
Batman stuff.
Yeah.
Batman isn't. It's sci-fi adjacent, but it's superhero, you know. So we're differentiating a bit. There we go.
I mean, you could say Wizard of Oz. I guess I don't know if it's going to end up being a top 5, but I think for its time, it had some kind of groundbreaking things in it. I'm just looking. I pulled up a list.
Would that be fantasy
online. I guess, Wizard of Oz, I guess, would be more
fantasy. There's nothing
fantasy. So yeah, I'm fine with leaving it off. That's fine. I don't think it would make the 5 anyway, but I think it's worth a mention. But
okay, the only ones I've added since the list was completed, or not completed, it is hopefully now complete here. Avatar 2, Event Horizon, Fifth Element, Independence Day, Blade Runner, and Blade Runner 2049. Ooh, spin. Mad Max is good. I just think it's going to get crossed out real quick.
Yeah, I think so too.
Practical effects, not special effects on that one.
I mean, you talk about the original Mad Max movie, or I don't know. I don't remember that being real heavy in special effects. Maybe this Fury Road, maybe, but
well, I mean, the practical effects, I guess, are part of special effects still, but it's not groundbreaking. I mean, it looks amazing, and it was super unique and super, super well done. I just don't know if it's
right.
I don't know if Mad Max even it's technically sci-fi, but I don't know if
it's more dystopian future kind of sci-fi thing, you know. But
apocalypto something, yeah. I cheated. I googled Fury Road as the 25th most innovative movie for special effects. That I would believe. That's
what I put. Fury Road on there. I'm like, it's good. I gotta watch that movie again. It was so good.
Furiosa. Oh. Furiosa 2.
I haven't seen Furiosa yet, but I loved Fury Road. It was great. It felt like Mad Max, and that's what I really loved about it. Is that it kept was it the same director and everything? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's still George Miller.
Yeah.
Who's one of the best directors there is, and
I loved Fury Road. I gotta watch that again.
It's
especially like you put the star actor in a mask. Like, I mean, that was just great.
Like. Visually, I can't think of a villain that's as scary as him since maybe frickin' Darth Vader. Like, honestly, it's perfect.
Yeah.
But Furiosa, I want to watch before Fury Road. I can't speak now. Fury Road, and see if like they flow together how they're supposed to. You know.
Right.
Ooh, Immortal Engines and Snowpiercer. Immortal Engines at least looked really good. And Snowpiercer looks great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long they'll make it, but shall we go ahead and start scratching off and erasing things?
Sure.
Because my eraser doesn't work very well. Got to get the alcohol wipe. we make do with what we can around these parts, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, let's start off. Let's get some of these heavy hitters out of the way.
Right.
Should any of these leave? Probably not. Jurassic Park, The Matrix, Predator, Avatar, 2001.
Predator. Out.
Sorry, Jay. Sorry, Jay.
Not really. I mean, I get why you want to put it on the list, but I just no.
For the money they spent, for
Yeah.
the simplicity and purposefulness they used, amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just not going to make it.
Mm-mm.
Jupiter Ascending actually looks amazing. I will give that one on here. I don't know if the movie ended up turning out amazing, but looked great.
Mm-hmm.
Jurassic Park as well. Ooh, Mike. I don't think anybody.
The original Jurassic Park movie was kind of groundbreaking with the dinosaurs. I think it deserves to stay on the list. Is it going to end up being one of the final 5? I don't know, but I think it deserves to stay on the list for now.
No on JP or Avatar.
Yeah,
Avatar just smart. That but visually, it's one of the most cool.
The effects,
so,
we're just talking, even if like the movie sucked, but it had groundbreaking visual effects, it could make the final.
Okay, so Jurassic Park, Matrix, Avatar, 2001, stay essentially. After that, though, are we removing Star Trek First Contact because it is right here?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Trek.
On the list at all, to be honest.
In Jurassic Park, dinosaurs have been done just as good as before. We're like that. Still, that's not what we're basing it off of. It's how groundbreaking they were. Mm-hmm. Star Trek out. Shoot.
I want Star Trek to be in there, but there just isn't a Star Trek that has anything real groundbreaking. I mean, I don't know. Maybe would Star Trek the motion picture? Wouldn't make the final. I think we'd end up crossing it off. So,
yeah, because I think kind of like, well, obviously Twilight Zone's not a movie, but there were things that were before that still doing sometimes even more interesting things. Not all the time, and I've seen them all either way to really give you 100% either way. But yeah. Okay, so let's keep moving. We also have Star Wars trilogy and Alien trilogy on here. Do we want to keep those as trilogies to keep it simple, or do we want to?
I say just go with like the original Star Wars movie or Episode 4 or whatever. The original 1977 Star Wars movie.
Okay,
I would stick with just that and not because the other two, it's just kind of the same thing. I mean, maybe it's a little bit better because more time went by, but
keep as trilogies.
As far as like a groundbreaking thing, I think. I mean, if you want to keep it as a trilogy, that's fine. But it was really that 1977 movie that was the one.
Yeah.
But
because the thing that made me think about
the trilogy, I don't hate it.
Alien trilogy.
Alien trilogy.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's go with that then. Let's just say
in Alien, was it groundbreaking? I guess the xenomorph design.
Well, not the
original.
But was
there really anything groundbreaking in Alien? It's good. The special effects are very good.
Yeah, Aliens might have had some groundbreaking, but Alien was still a person in a suit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Right.
Did Sarah's right? It's 2 follow-ups didn't break all the amount of ground. Yeah.
Star Wars. Yep.
Okay. Well then,
with Alien, I'd rather just stick with just aliens, because I mean, the Queen and that whole thing, like her little hive, like that was like so good.
so we're gonna count it as Alien and Alien 3 or cubed, as David Fincher put the number there.
Yeah.
Is gone, and we're gonna just say Aliens.
Yes.
Are we down for that? From which made the most money? You need to look at from which made the most money. That's not what we're talking about. If we were talking about box office stuff, that I like the idea. It's just that's a whole different thing. That's why we have it.
Yeah.
You know. Just a different conversation. Continuing this one though, we have The Abyss, The Creator, Aliens, Star Wars, and Tron. I don't know if any of them leave.
Can you read it one more time?
The Abyss, The Creator, Aliens, Star Wars, and Tron. Out of those, I still think Aliens, sadly.
The Creator.
Really?
Yeah.
That
not groundbreaking, really.
It's groundbreaking for today. If we're talking about monetarily stuff, if we're bringing the monetary stuff in here for Scott, the capability of those effects for the amount of money they spent, the only movie that I think has ever done that this well or even better would be Godzilla -1. And I guess saying that out loud, we probably will end up having that one over The Creator.
Yeah. I think Creator gets kicked out. I mean, The Abyss was, that
absolutely
that was called doing that water phase, like that was like the groundbreaking thing. I don't know if that had ever been done before.
Yeah. Dang. Sorry, Gareth Edwards. You're out of here. You're out of here, buddy. What year did the first Alien come out? I often think of some of the
79.
Stuff
and then
I agree with
I think was 86, I think.
In that range.
Yeah.
Fincher's was 92 or 3, right?
The Thing was kind of in between those two. It was like 82 or something like that. Yeah.
I think drop Aliens over The Creator. Talking about groundbreaking, I would agree. But yeah, I don't know. Well, do we keep Aliens right here? In this one, we still have Abyss, Star Wars, and Tron. Do we keep Aliens? Is it going to last? I guess is going to be the ultimate question here. 84 for Thing. Cool.
If I could remember everything on my list, which I'm terrible. I can see it's just an Aliens. The Queen, the Xenomorph Queen thing was so good, but
the Queen, and then I'm thinking about Ripley in the giant mech suit moving.
Oh, in the mech suit too. Yeah, that's
But again, Star Wars did all that too, and like to a much grander scale.
All right, I'll give you Aliens.
Well, we've lost Aliens and Creator.
Stuff that is more groundbreaking and than that, because
which one?
Oh, I just think there is stuff that's more groundbreaking than Aliens. As much as I love Aliens, it's just but
yeah. Well, guess what? It's not getting any easier. Because next up, talking about The Thing, we have The Thing. We have Ready Player One, T2, and Terminator. Let's just go with 4 to keep it simple.
I say only keep Terminator 2 out of those.
Even Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Interstellar.
I saw Ready Player One. It didn't. The effects didn't. I wasn't impressed. It didn't seem like it was anything new to me.
So you said just keep T2, not Terminator?
Right.
I would agree there.
Because of the liquid, very Abyss-like, I guess, that That's very much like the Abyss effects, though, too. The T2, if you think about it, just more advanced.
Yeah.
But,
Well, the Abyss is technically the more advanced version of that, isn't it?
I'd have to remember. I thought Abyss came out before Terminator 2, but maybe I'm wrong. I'd have to look it up.
I am taking out the Thing right now.
Yeah.
We're okay with that one? I think
Mhm.
I think it's not going to last as much as it's
Yeah.
a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
The Abyss was also
Yeah.
filmed underwater, which is the really crazy part. And then one thing that is a little bit more simple today, obviously, but insanely difficult at that time was doing all the parts when they are breathing liquid oxygen at the bottom of the ocean and having their actual.
Oh, right. Yeah. Ed Harris. Ed Harris having to do that, right? Was that actually Ed Harris doing that?
I think so. Like, I don't think it's actual liquid oxygen or anything, but like,
no, and I love the whole part when Michael Biehn goes crazy. That's like great too. But anyway, I gotta watch that movie again.
Okay, T2 was right after.
Yeah.
The rat scene is still banned in the UK. Oh. So we're keeping T2. That's the only one that made it out of the last list?
I think so.
I thought it was going to be a hard one. I lied. This one, we've talked about all of these already, technically. We've got Dune, 1984. Dune, New Dune. Dune 2. Godzilla, 1954. And Godzilla -1. As much as I think Godzilla 54 and Dune 84 were testaments of their time,
I think
they were groundbreaking. Yeah.
I'd say, well, I don't know.
So we have
Godzilla
Dune.
-1. It's like, is it groundbreaking special effects, or are we putting it on the list because of they did it so well, so cheap? But is it groundbreaking?
Certain things, I guess, like that will be groundbreaking in a sense because of the technical. Like Godzilla -1 would be groundbreaking in the sense of they accomplished more than most people are capable of accomplishing with a fifth of the budget, you know? Because it's hard to be groundbreaking nowadays unless you're like James Cameroning and making Avatar 1, 2, or 3 kind of deal, I guess. But I think it is groundbreaking in the sense of, hey, you don't have to make Avatar, but you can have stuff that looks maybe not like 3D, like a video game almost like Avatar can, but really, really, really good. And you don't have to spend Avatar type of money to do it now. And Creator showed that, obviously, but I think Godzilla -1 was kind of the cherry on top of even that. But we don't have to keep it. I mean, it might not stand the test of time. It is groundbreaking in that sense. But what are we thinking?
No, we're saying Godzilla 1954 because of the stop motion stuff, right? Why we're saying
it's more puppeteering than stop motion, isn't it?
Okay, I didn't.
And even then,
I haven't seen that, so I mean, I'm sure I've seen. I mean, I've seen Godzilla movies. I don't know if I've seen like the original one, though. You know, I've seen the cheesier later ones. You know, like Mystery Science Theater 3000 used to do those back in the day. But anyway,
we were talking about that today, which kind of it won't last to the end anyway. So now canon now. That was my thoughts on the 54 Godzilla. Do we do that with -1 as well?
I mean, I guess my thought too about the Godzilla 54 is like, well, what about then the King Kong movie? Could you say, I don't know, but
and that's why I'm not leaning towards it being groundbreaking because there was a lot of different studios doing the same thing back then, I guess, and it wasn't necessarily
right.
It was new and unique. I wouldn't necessarily say it was groundbreaking. It was. It brought a whole lot of new ideas and capabilities to film, and it was groundbreaking in that sense, but it wasn't like, oh, this is hard, this is going to be a struggle. That's why so many studios were like, oh, they're doing that, and it actually makes money. Let's do that real quick. And now we've gotten all the things we've gotten from all those different things over time. So I guess scratch it out.
Yeah.
All right. There you go, Godzilla. You are not blowing any atomic energy at anybody today. Sorry, as the Canadians would say. Dune and Dune 2 are Denis Dunes. Do we keep both or keep one?
I say just keep the first one, and I'm not even sure if that's groundbreaking, but it's very good. It's well done, very artsy, kind of.
Both are not. They're the only things that feel groundbreaking outside of Avatar nowadays, honestly. That and then Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Oh, which, hold up, I'm writing Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes down. Sorry, y'all. Like, if we're talking special effects, it deserves to probably be in the top 5, realistically, but we will see if it lasts and makes it there.
What's the one, the stop motion makes me think of, what's that one movie? It's not, is it the Odyssey or...
With Jason and the Argonauts, or
was that the name of the movie? Jason and the Argonauts has what's his name in it as the main. Oh God,
the old one.
Yeah, the old one had a lot of the the guy that was the genius at doing the stop motion stuff.
Where they fight
Clash
the
of the Titans. That's what I'm thinking of. Clash of the Titans, the original one. Yeah.
Both of them, because I think maybe it was the same guy working on Jason the Argonauts.
Yeah, I think it was the same. I forget the name of the guy that did that, but he was kind of groundbreaking as far as that kind of thing. Of course, once CGI came along, that died, but but
it still looks so good. It still looks good too, honestly.
Oh yeah.
But real quick, are we finishing on Dune? Do we
just
take them out?
Just the first one. I don't think you need both of them in there. Because they're pretty much like the same as far as special effects go. So
I would put Dune 2 mostly for the
it has more stuff in it, maybe, but
the worms and everything like that.
Yeah.
You see the stuff that they're almost teasing you with in the first one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine. I'm good with that.
Okay, but because I just put it down, we'll talk it. The sandworm scene. Literally, that's the big thing that comes to mind, of course. There's a lot of other stuff. The trippy, I forget the water of life or whatever it's called. Like all those sequences are really good as well. But that sandworm scene is you can't keep a film for one scene. No, but we've all seen 2.
Yeah.
Do we need to say anything else?
Yeah.
We're talking about the special effects, and damn, they do a good job. But we did just write down Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. Was that the first one?
No. That is the newest one.
Oh, that's the newest one. Okay.
Ray Harryhausen.
You could almost say like just all of those, right? Because that was the Andy Serkis, of course. But what is that called where you put the green suit on with the balls?
Mocap.
What is it called?
Mocap.
Motion capture. That's what it is. Yeah. That's like they definitely did some groundbreaking motion capture stuff with Andy Serkis and is it Caesar?
Yeah, as Caesar.
Yeah. That definitely
wasn't that just Serkis in a furry suit? No.
I mean, I guess you could put the trilogy or
I wouldn't put the trilogy because I don't think it's gonna last. Honestly,
right.
we could write it down real quick.
I think I'd put the first one. What is the name? Whatever the name in the first one is.
Dawn, I think it was Dawn and Rise and War, or was it Rise, Dawn, War? One of the.
I've only seen like the first one. That's like, I've got to watch those. I have not.
They're good, but
I have failed.
As good as those 3 are, I don't think any of them are gonna last. And the one we should write down is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, the one that came out last year. Because it is it actually sci-fi?
Kind of,
What
because
is
it was about a serum that made them intelligent.
I was about to say, what is
right?
the concept of Planet of the
Yeah.
Apes? Not a dystopian future. It is a dystopian future through sci-fi, which there is a little bit of a.
Mm-hmm.
The Mad Max is kind of like, where does the sci-fi actually fit in there? It is technically because it all like nuclear bombs and aspect.
Right.
I did Twitter. I did it through a SciTrek account though. Planet of the Apes, water effect, and Kingdom were groundbreaking. That and the we'll put Mad Max back in. No, because where's the sci-fi? Explain where the sci-fi is. All you got to do to explain.
And the special effects. It's like, are you talking? But I mean, which Mad Max are you talking about? Which movie?
Yeah, and none of them are particularly science fiction oriented. They're great.
It's post-nuclear war, apocalyptic.
And Fallout.
And it's great. It's like, I love. I mean, I own like all the movies. I haven't bought Furiosa, but I think I own all the other movies. You know, the original 3. I mean, the original Mad Max. You know, with the what's that car? Whatever the AMC car is in it.
Oh, I don't know the cars off the top of my head, but
I guess it's in Road Warrior also, but.
The just hanging out with the dog, and then you get freaking. Am I saying the name right? It's not. I almost said Lena Turner. I was like, that's not right. Nina Turner and freaking Thunderdome. Oh my god.
Tina Turner.
Tina Turner. The third one.
That was the third one. Yeah, Beyond Thunderdome. Which I don't know if I mean. I like Road Warrior better, but you know.
Well, yeah, they're all just so good. The things that like stand out, like oh my god. Yes, I did.
Planet of the Apes had the science, like the sciencey super serum or whatever stuff that made them smart, and that's what you know.
I prefer her sister Nina. Transformers is good. Which one are you thinking, Scott? I probably. I
would just go with the first one because just the robots, the CGI of the robots is really good. I have not seen all the Transformers movies because they kind of. I think I saw the first 3 and then they kind of dropped. You know, then it was kind of like, nyeh.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch. I kind of quit, but.
Monk immediately says no Transformers, and Scott's like, put all of them there. They all look great. But we'll put the first one down because that one, if one is groundbreaking, that one is definitely the groundbreaking one.
Yeah.
And damn, it looks good.
Oh,
whether
yeah.
Especially in the world or not.
How they, you know, when they show them switching from robot to car or whatever is great. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I have reservations about Transformers, but I'll give them credit for effects. Oh, my.
Yeah,
oh.
That's what we're doing. So it's not,
yeah.
It's like if the movie sucked, if the effects were groundbreaking and awesome, it doesn't matter if the movie sucked. You know?
Our Transformers robot DEI hires, what's going on? Okay, so our next five, because we've just put the 2 down, we'll keep Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and Transformers on this next little 5. Do we want to keep those or let them go? I put Stargate down here for the sake of it. I don't expect it to last, but
no,
Stargate
there's nothing groundbreaking about Stargate.
No, I'll go ahead and take it
off right now. I know we had to do the fan and put it on there, but no.
And back up, the cavalry has arrived. Hello, good sir.
Hello. Oh wait, I forgot.
And now there's 3.
I gotta adjust my stuff for StreamYard. Give me 2 seconds here. Yard. The yard. I'm used to being on the labs.
The yards has been changing it up a bit lately, which has been kind of confusing, but nice too. Bumblebee might have been.
Yeah, that's better.
Hell yeah.
That's better.
Well, how are you?
Not bad actually. How y'all doing?
Good.
Living, doing well, man.
You know what? Let me move this in front of me.
Somehow, some way.
There we go. That's more better.
But so far, how's the list looking?
Not bad actually. Hold on, let me see if I can get my face above this.
Out of this next bunch,
here.
Any that need to go. I'll read them off again.
Okay.
We got Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which I will fight for. But then we have Transformers, Event Horizon, and Fifth Element.
Fifth Element.
You down to scratch it, Aaron?
What? Scratch the Fifth Element? Yeah.
Yeah.
There, that's a little bit better. Maybe.
Sorry, as the Canadians would say.
There we go. Sorry.
I say that, and both of y'all are significantly closer to the Canadian border than I am.
My apologies,
Eh.
My apologies, I'm so sorry that happened to you,
Event Horizon.
Oh,
Is that more science fiction special effects, or is that more horror special effects? Or are we counting them as
it's a little bit of
science fiction because it takes place in space? So I guess we have to keep that.
It's very Warhammer-y, huh?
There we go.
What is Event Horizon?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm trying to remember Event Horizon.
I don't think it's gonna last either, though. I'm not going to.
No, I mean, don't they like open a portal to hell or something? Like, because they're trying to do the folding space thing, but it ends up opening something to hell or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, that movie gave me nightmares for like 2 weeks after I saw it.
It's what Rebel Moon wishes it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've seen it, but I can't remember it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that one too.
Yeah,
there's I think it can go. It's more of like a horror movie in space, really.
Well, if you think about it, so's Alien.
Yeah.
So's Alien.
But at least it had an alien.
It did. Yeah. Thanks, David. Yes, it was to Vegas. It was my best friend's 50th birthday party. He lives out there.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I was out there for 4 days. The amount of THC consumed was ridiculous.
That is my MO when I'm out there, which is wonderful.
Holy crap. The amount of stuff my friend and his wife keep on supply is like movie levels.
Vegas is so great. I'm so glad I don't gamble, or I would never have made money in my life if I liked to gamble, because Vegas, I spend too much time having fun there, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's so good.
Yeah, I think we can probably scratch Event Horizon.
Yeah. There were more than 250 special effects scenes there. Wow.
I wouldn't doubt
2001 is on the list. It was in that very first category, or not category, very first 5 listed off that were like, do we take any of these things? And the answer was not really. I got to believe, 2001 is. One second. I saw All Media. Event Horizon was a movie I got as a complimentary DVD with my DVD player. This was when DVD players were pretty new.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Need a list of movies that was never made based on books. Hey, that'd be a good one, too. Probably not like Chevron Awards right then, but that'd be a fun stream.
That would be a fun little list, though.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to find out exactly how many movies have been made off books, like even ones we didn't think about. Or just like, oh, this movie's so cool, and didn't even realize that's from a book.
Yeah,
I know.
Well,
but we did a best adapted.
That is true.
Didn't we?
Oh yeah.
But this would be the best, maybe almost adapted or should be adapted kind of deal, which would be fun.
Oh yeah, something that we'd like to see made.
We could always do a list of garbage adaptions.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's plenty of those.
Oh yeah.
David actually gave me a really good idea for a video series that I think I'm gonna actually do, and it might include some of the best and some of the worst things throughout the decades. So. And the worst is going to be fun to watch just as much as the fun stuff is. But to continue, because we're almost kind of at the end down here to help like whittle into the 5 finals. These are the only ones that I have written down so far that have not been scratched off or anything like that. Interstellar, Independence Day, Revenge of the Sith, and Jupiter Ascending.
Revenge of the Sith can go.
Heresy.
I don't think.
I mean, although Anakin in that fight scene, him having all his limbs chopped off was pretty good, but I don't know. Is it groundbreaking?
Independence Day can definitely get scratched. There's nothing groundbreaking about that movie.
Yeah.
It definitely deserves a shout out over some of the ones that are still here and some of the ones that will go further or would have gone further. But it's not groundbreaking. It's not going to end up being there at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Would that same thought process be okay for Interstellar?
I'd say cross that off too. But I'm just
Yeah.
not a huge fan of that movie. So
I mean,
I didn't think there was anything in it that wowed me.
Nolan makes awesome movies, but I don't know if any of the visuals in any of them have ever been what I would call groundbreaking. You know?
Right. It's good, solid, but
Yeah.
Mike said none of these were groundbreaking. So Independence Day and Blade Runner as well, or not Blade Runner? Excuse me, Jupiter Ascending. Jupiter Ascending can go.
Is that one with Mina? What's her
Mila
name?
Kunis, Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum's half dog.
Yeah. That can go, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that whole section can get gone, honestly.
Sorry, Independence Day. Roland Emmerich is now gone. Stargate and Independence Day are gone. Should we add Moonfall on here real quick?
Moonfall? No, thank you.
This is our final 5 that has not been scratched out, talked about, altered, debated, voted on.
All right.
Whatever.
Let's do it.
We've got Blade Runner. Blade Runner 2049. Immortal Engines. Snowpiercer. And Avatar 2. Snowpiercer can go ahead and go.
Yeah,
so far the only one that I feel strongly about keeping is Avatar 2. And that's the only one on that.
We have the
whole
first
list.
one also.
Do we?
Listed. Yeah.
Well, if we got the first one, we can get rid of the second one then.
Yeah.
Because after the first one, none of it's really groundbreaking. It's just kind of improvements.
Oh, what do you mean? The second one's arguably more groundbreaking.
Is
Those
it?
water effects have changed the way people make film for the rest of
true.
Then keep 2 and get rid of 1.
But we're talking about groundbreaking still.
Right. Yeah, I guess we got to keep both. Yeah, we got to keep both.
Yeah.
I would get rid of.
We'll see if they last.
Blade Runner 2049 is like a beautiful movie. Like the visuals on that, I love those visuals, especially in that hologram. You know, when they're in that club with the broken hologram thing, that was really good. But
so good.
I say keep original Blade Runner, get rid of 2049.
Oh, okay. Well, in the groundbreaking sense, I'm with you there. Yeah.
Well, we just have to be super careful not to conflate quality with being groundbreaking.
Yeah.
That's the big key. It's like, but that looks so good, but has it been done?
Yeah. And that's where like the creator was there a little bit too. It's like it looks so good, especially for the budget, and it is groundbreaking in a budgetary sense. And same thing with Godzilla -1. They're just not gonna make it to the end here.
Yeah.
A list for the best science fiction books. Hey, we'd be down. You know, Stormy would be a little too excited about that one.
That would be one. We'd have to get Stormy in on that one, I think.
Oh, definitely. But we'd have to rein his ass in though.
He would go off on tangents. Yes.
He could. Well, it's not even that. His own personal list would be redonk.
It would be.
Forget what anyone else wanted to contribute. His list would probably be highly comprehensive as well, though.
Well, it would be some of the best things, some of the most generic things, and then you would have some things that are just so far in left field that you just all right. I need the entire synopsis before I can even like attempt to vote.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, I'll just throw in one name, Asimov, and then we can move
literally.
on.
At that point, you almost want to debate the authors. Like,
there's some you could just do a list of like best this author books or whatever.
Well, real quick, I guess I just realized. Have y'all ever met on stream before? I guess we just jumped right in.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think we did. Nope.
No, hi Sarah.
Hi.
I'm so bad about because I'm obviously meet everybody along different ways. I'm terrible about saying, "Hey, introduce each other."
Well, I think we know who each other are.
Yeah, definitely.
Been on at the same time. That's all.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I'm glad y'all were finally able to do that. Just do a separate list for Stormy.
I mean, pretty much.
He could do a video, just have Stormy's. He should do his own little like book channel.
He could do like a 5-hour stream on his own list.
Yeah.
Scott, just talking about all these science fiction books real quick, and Stormy's channel for books and stuff. He has a channel called Professor Cringe. Try to get him to change the name, but But it's the one that looks like the old doctor with the beak kind of deal. The old 17th century doctor or whatever you'd call it, medieval doctor, even before the 17th century.
Plague. It's from the Black Plague.
Yeah.
They'd wear those masks when they were the people that picked up the dead bodies would wear those masks.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah.
He has a full channel, obviously called Professor Cringe, like we said. You can scroll down on the SciTrek main page, and it should be linked down there as well. And he does like full audiobook. I guess drops.
Yeah.
I think he does them either by chapter or by like sections of the book. It just depends on the book. But he has a lot of old books that he's done for that, and it's really cool. But to continue on, and Scott did say he posted a list on the chat. Ooh, perfect. We have our final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 right here. Shall we whittle it down to 5?
Yes.
Let's do it. We've got, God, they're just so hard. I'm going to skip it on the first 4 real quick because Jurassic Park 2001, The Abyss, and Matrix are difficult to debate here. He should change the channel name to There's a Stormy Coming. That's actually good.
I like that. That's good. That's good.
That's so good.
Yeah.
And a nice gentle warning.
Yeah. Watch out. There's Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Transformers, T2, and Blade Runner.
T2 stays. In my opinion.
I agree. I think Transformers and Blade Runner are the easy ones there.
Uh-oh, Mike's bringing butt plugs back into the conversation.
I was going to say Transformers. I guess you got to say Blade Runner too. I mean, even though it's really good.
Yeah. Ben Transformers, Apes, and Blade Runner. Monk, how do you Ben Apes from that though? Keep Apes and T2.
Apes. The stop motion in that is, yeah.
Are we talking Heston apes?
No. We're talking Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh,
like
okay.
motion
Yeah,
capture and the water and everything
Mhm.
like that is just.
Okay.
Oh, real quick,
Yeah.
Juliet. Stormy's channel is called He is SciWorks and Professor Cringe. If you go to the SciTrek, I guess just main page, you hit our channel page. Scroll down there to the bottom, and you'll find everybody linked down there, except Sarah. And we're trying to get her to find a way to link it on there. We'll get that.
You got my stuff listed on there. I just haven't. I've actually got to make some content. I just.
But yeah, because you don't have a video on it yet, I don't think we're able to put the channel on.
Right. I need to just do like a playlist of the best worst streams back when we did that. I just need to put those up there, and I keep meaning to, and I just.
You could make like a 30 to 60-second intro video, and then we can link it.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, this is my channel. This is what I talk about.
Yeah.
Link. Done.
Just type in Sarah's name and then 6226, right?
Yeah. And I'm thinking if I want to change that too, but I have to come up with a good name.
I don't know what it
Maybe
stands
I'll
for.
just leave it at that, just to be kind of whatever, I'll just leave it the weird name.
6226 has like a good alliteration to it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it stands for or anything, but it's cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to our whittling down here. We're taking Blade Runner.
You can cross it out.
Yeah.
I don't want to, but I get it.
Sorry, Blade Runner. Oh, and Transformers, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, Transformers, because you look really cool, but
yeah.
Okay. So out of that, we have T2 and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes that have stayed. We're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've whittled down 2. So now we have Avatar 2, Dune 2, Tron, and Star Wars.
Dune 2.
Dune 2 and Tron.
Tron was pretty groundbreaking, though. That's why I can't.
But is it going to last against 6 more movies?
I think it might.
Yeah.
Oh, Monk is agreeing, though. He said Ben Tron and Dune 2.
I agree with Dune 2. Tron, I'm not.
Tron was awesome, but not top 5. You cannot bin Tron. It was groundbreaking.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think
it's
it
so
was
right there. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Is it's like literally? Well, you can't bin Star Wars. Star Wars is going to be in the top 5. Period.
Yeah. Original stuff. Yeah, 1977 Star Wars is definitely that's
Like,
top
he
5.
was
You can just put that in the top 5 right now.
They were literally building cameras just to do what the crap they wanted to do.
Good.
Like,
Yeah.
literally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, so we're taking out Dune 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
The worms look good, but I don't think it's going to hold up as a groundbreaking.
But we saw the worms in Dune, both the 80s Dune.
Yeah.
My hand is struggling with the eraser here.
And
I know it's hard.
And the
but
butthole popcorn bucket still traumatizes me to this day.
Get a nice little hand in there. Uh-oh.
It was hilarious. Just real quick, it was hilarious because that popcorn bucket came out, and then the Deadpool and Wolverine bucket came out, and it's like, why are we putting out 2 popcorn buckets in a row that just say "fist me"?
It's so bad. Oh, saw the worms and Tremors.
Oh yeah, that's true. We did.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon.
Oh, I kind of want to do a Tremors little like.
I need to see it. I've never seen it, and I hear all this stuff. It's like this big cult classic and everything. All right, I'll try to watch it this week. I will make it a priority to watch it this week.
Well, we could watch it on a stream at some point.
Yeah,
Watch
I mean we're doing
party.
Farscape tomorrow, but Farscape Trion tomorrow.
Farscape Trion and Mario.
Yep.
Which I have something fun for that. I'm not showing it to you. I showed it to Jay at the beginning. I'm not showing it to you till tomorrow.
Okay.
And whoever joins, which will probably just be David for a little bit until whoever else watches it on Patreon later.
Yeah.
But if you're a patron, come hang out. It's a good time.
Yep.
Those Monk's final 5 prediction here is Matrix, Jurassic Park, Star Wars 2001, and T2. Check that. Take T2 out and put in one of the avatars. Okay, I was like, there we go. That's not far off. Okay. Now though, we are down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Mike ain't wrong. Mike is not wrong.
Yeah,
I don't think there's one cult classic movie that isn't like
right. That's what makes it cult
like
classic.
from like a cinematic standpoint. No cult classics like. Oh.
Yeah, no.
They're loved despite stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Tremors had 100, if Tremors had the budget that Dune had, it very well may be one of the best freaking sci-fi movies ever because it's super well written. But it knows the budget it has. It knows the cast and like their naivety, I guess, to acting at that point. They'd all been acting for not too long. Some of them more so than others, of course. But it would be a whole different story. Obviously, they knew it was a B-level movie, and they made it to be the perfect B movie, and damn right it is. Damn right it is.
So we're down to an even number?
We're down to 10.
Let's start doing some head-to-heads.
Ooh, that's my thought process on that.
Well, how about like Abyss or T2? Because it's kind of
similar, or at least like group them in.
Who did it
if there's
first?
Any similarities?
Who did it first though? Was Abyss? Abyss was first, right?
Abyss was first. And the water effects are arguably more groundbreaking, but the mirror aspects are essentially water effects added with a metallic sheen that has to work.
Right.
I would say T2 because of the sheen of the mirror effect, because they have to show everything in the mirror, and they do, and that's why it looks so well.
Yeah.
So good. Grammar.
So keep
down
to get rid of Abyss?
Take Abyss off?
Abyss is 2 years older than T2.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
There goes the Abyss. That one was slightly easier than Dune 2, but not by much.
Yeah.
Keep Abyss. It was underwater. Yeah, but I feel like we're going to just be talking about underwater simulations by the end of the top 5, if that's the case, because Avatar 2 and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes both.
Yeah, because you could say Avatar 2 does the water stuff, you know. even though I've never seen.
It's in the title, isn't it?
Yeah.
Water.
The Way of Water. I am excited for the third one, but it's gonna be a minute.
Mm.
Well, if you think about
Okay.
it, fire and ash is kind of part of our lifestyle in a certain way.
Mhm.
It's we are all the Avatar if we stick with little
Yeah.
herbal avatars, I guess. You know,
Yep.
10,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah.
Okay. What is our next matchup? I don't necessarily feel good about doing the matchups either, though, because let's just do Avatar 2. One of them stays, one of them goes.
Avatar goes.
Yes, say 2 stays.
I agree.
I haven't seen it, but from what you guys say, it sounds like it's better with the water stuff. So I'll go with that.
Mhm. For good and bad, it can totally feel like a video game at different times. But whenever
Right.
it feels like a video game and you're kind of taken out of it for a second, you look around for half a second and you realize,
Mhm.
oh wait, I feel like I'm in the movie. I am part of the video game too.
Mhm.
So it kind of takes that badness away from it
Mhm.
in a way. But anyway, Jurassic Park, Matrix, 2001, Avatar 2, Star Wars, Tron, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and T2. This is
Just
a hard list.
set Star Wars off to the side as being in the top 5.
Right.
Should we go ahead and do
Um,
that for Avatar 2, Star Wars? Those two are for sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
I think
So
the
that-
Matrix has got to be on. Because the Matrix, nobody had ever done what they did in the Matrix before.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it didn't look great. There were better looking films at that point, special effects wise. What they did with the computer animation itself was really cool. It didn't even necessarily hold up. Like Bullet Time is awesome, but it looks like
Mhm.
you're on a Windows 2, you know? Like same thing with the Phantom Menace. You're like, oh, this is awesome. And then you get to the big field with all the Gungans and all the droids, and you're like,
Yeah.
is this a backdrop? Like, is this, you know, like, is this an old MSN backdrop somewhere? Like, you know, as much as we love it, it looks the way it looks. Matrix, does it stand the test of time over a Jurassic Park or a 2001 or a Tron?
Yes. Like the Matrix basically created Zack Snyder. So
So immediately scratch this out as fast as possible.
no, immediately. No, but everyone started doing the slow-mo and the
Mhm.
position switch and all that stuff after
Yeah.
the Matrix.
Yeah. It's got to stay on the list.
So
I
okay.
think Matrix is more groundbreaking than Jurassic Park.
In terms of future effects, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean.
I mean, don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
Jurassic Park had some dope animatronics.
Yep.
But Henson had been doing dope animatronics
Right.
for a
I think
while.
we're talking. Are we
before
talking
that
about the
movie
new?
came out.
Oh, yeah, the original one.
We're talking the original one, right? Or are we
Yeah.
talking
Yeah,
like
yeah,
yeah.
Jurassic
OG.
World? Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
Okay. So where do we scratch them out?
If it's between Matrix and Jurassic Park specifically, we're scratching Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Let's say Jurassic Park, Matrix, and Tron. Can any one of those just go?
Jurassic Park between those
Jurassic
three
Park.
still can go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In the groundbreaking sense, I
Yeah.
see what y'all are saying. It
Yeah.
still feels so weird to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, JP. Sorry, Spielberg. I don't agree with getting rid of JP. I knew that was immediately going to be the first.
I don't necessarily 100% agree with it either, but it's kind of what we have to do. And you're,
We're literally in the
Right.
we're in the hardest portion of this. This is
Yeah. Yep.
This is the hard part. And I think there were too, Mike. I would kind of argue that too. Yeah. I just don't, I can't think of them off the top of my head. to compare, or contrast. And maybe those films walked so Matrix could fly and everything else could go afterwards. Well, Matrix could fly. Neo could fly, of course. But now we're into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 more have to go. Avatar 2 and Star Wars are on here.
Yep. So we got
That's
to
for sure. For sure.
We got to pick 3 out of the next 5. So what are the 5?
Matrix, of course. 2001: A Space Odyssey. Tron. T2. And Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I think Kingdom is a for sure. Can I just go ahead and put a star next to that one?
Oh, we put a star next to that and the Matrix. Then what? Do we have 1 more to go then?
Yep.
Okay, well, if we're willing to put a star next to Matrix and Kingdom, it's Tron, T2, and 2001. Tron gotta go. Drop space and Tron.
It's hard to not put 2001 on the as one of the top 5,
especially with the time it came out.
Yeah.
No, it was already. It's still. It was already on there. Monk. It was already on there.
Yeah. Avatar 2 is still here.
Yeah.
Avatar 2, Star Wars, and then Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes are the 3 that are for sure. And Matrix, excuse me, are the 4 that are for sure.
We just got to pick 1 more out of these last 3.
I think T2 goes just because we put Avatar.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah.
And although those fluid sims were amazing then, James Cameron literally the groundbreaking beforehand with Avatar. Tron is great, but not top 5. Tron is groundbreaking.
That's
2001 is top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to say Tron got to go. 2001. 2001.
Yeah, I can't put Tron over 2001.
Like I want to, and I would have, but whoever put that Star Wars came out 2 years or 3 years before Tron, it's like I get how groundbreaking Tron is. It just there will always be an argument for it, but yeah. We have whittled down to our top 5. We've got
Success.
2001, A Space Odyssey, The Matrix, the original one, of course. Avatar 2, Star Wars: A New Hope, and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I can't believe we don't have Jurassic Park in the top 5. Heathens.
I get it.
I know. If it were up to me, I would switch Matrix with Jurassic Park. But also, it totally makes sense to have Jurassic Park gone and Matrix in at the same time. So it's just the way
that was a tough one.
Yeah, it was.
But my only question when it comes to Jurassic Park versus the Matrix, and I'm going to bring this back to future effects. Has there really been that much more done with animatronics since Jurassic Park?
That's one of the reasons I'd like to put it down there.
Well, I mean, how far can you go? How much farther can you go with animatronics?
I feel like the only furtheration you can go is either go full CG or kind of do what they have done and kind of meet in the middle ground some. Or I guess in the perfect world, go a little Dark Crystal with it. Obviously they're not puppets, but do animatronics with just that slight CG thing to make it just more lifelike. They set a standard like few other films have been able to set ever in history with Jurassic Park. But the Matrix did.
I'm good with Jurassic Park and Tron being honorable mentions.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe I should rephrase it. Let me try phrasing it like this. Jurassic Park was probably the ultimate expression of animatronics, but it didn't really start a new thing with animatronics. You know what I mean? Does that make more sense?
It perfected it in a way.
That's what I'm saying.
Or right up next door, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate expression of what you can do with animatronics, but it didn't start a whole new animatronics thing.
Mm-hmm.
where Matrix literally opened up a new division of film after
Yep.
that. That's
Mhm.
that is I like
Mhm.
that. That's
Yeah.
You've swayed me over, good sir. So okay, 2001, Matrix, Avatar 2, Star Wars: A New Hope, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and our honorable mentions are Tron and
Mhm.
Jurassic Park. And
Mhm.
for television, we have The Expanse, Skeleton Crew, Star Trek: Deep Space Nine, Foundation, and Babylon 5.
Damn, I wish I'd have been there for the TV one.
I do like that Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and Skeleton Crew both made it in here. And then I
Mhm.
guess same thing with Foundation and Avatar 2. Like,
Right.
there's a lot of stuff out on our screens right now. It's freaking hard to keep up with. And there's a lot of slop and there's a lot of greatness. But thankfully, that greatness is still there.
Mhm.
Sure,
Yes.
I get why Matrix is better now. It took me a second, but Chillin has very well described the kind of the epitome of why it should be there.
Yep.
Solid list though, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot harder. I mean, it wasn't easy.
No.
But when you're talking about
Thankfully-
all time, and I'm sure there's a lot of things that could be mentioned and argued and whatever, but
We probably missed a bunch, you
But-
know, but also these are kind of the ones that naturally we would have gravitated back towards anyway.
mhm.
So whether all the honorable mentions in the world could be there or not,
Right.
this is kind of the ultimatum at the end of the day. What would Chillin choose for top 5 TV effects? Ooh. Can I leave you to do that real quick and go to the bathroom super quickly? I'll be back in half a
Top
second.
5 TV effects? Like
Oh.
just top 5 visually or top 5 groundbreaking? Because that's two different things.
I think we were talking about kind of groundbreaking.
Okay.
I remember.
In that case, I would have to say, ooh, shit. What are the ones you guys decided on again?
Babylon 5,
Okay, yeah.
Foundation,
Okay.
The Expanse, Deep Space Nine, and Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew?
Yeah,
I
I
would
don't
not.
know if
I
I
would not
agree with
have.
that
I
one.
would
I think that's
most
just the way
assuredly not have Skeleton Crew on the list.
I think that's just the way the discussion went. That was
Yeah.
what was on the list. I don't know if I
Yeah.
totally agree with that either, but it's
I
okay.
heartily disagree with that one.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything groundbreaking in Skeleton Crew.
Yeah. But we were kind of a little gray on the groundbreaking, really good. We were a little.
True. Oh, I'm not
We're being
dissing
more-
the I'm
Yeah.
not dissing the show itself, Traveler.
Mhm.
I enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
But I just don't think Skeleton Crew was groundbreaking in anything. Like you saw similar shots in Andor. You've seen similar shots
Right.
in Ahsoka. Like
Yeah.
I don't see
And
that as
those
a
were all
groundbreaking
kind of
show
in
at
the
all.
mix of when we were talking. So I think we
Mhm.
kind of decided which of those was like the best.
Okay. Yeah, coming at it from that angle,
know,
yeah, but just
yeah.
in general, I don't even think that show should be on the list.
Yeah.
Well,
Now to replace
The
it,
list is the list, right?
oh, show y'all the list
Yeah.
real quick.
No, we just went over it. And we were just thinking like, I'm not sure if Skeleton Crew really should, but it's just kind of the way the conversation went, and we were a
Yeah.
little gray on the groundbreaking versus best, I think, when we did
Yeah.
that list. But anyway, I'm looking forward to when we're not doing all time and we're just doing like this past year.
Stephanie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
right?
yeah,
Well, see, here's the thing, though,
Yeah.
Traveler, we're conflating the quality of what we're watching with how groundbreaking it is.
yeah.
Right. And we kind of
I'm not arguing. I'm not disagreeing
Right.
with your stance on the quality of it, Traveler. Not a bit. That show looked
Right.
freaking amazing. Like that
Right.
was one of the things I liked most about it was the visuals.
Definitely.
But in
Mhm.
terms of groundbreaking, doing new stuff, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Mhm.
I would put the OG Star Trek on that list before I would put Skeleton Crew.
Mhm.
I'm like Tron.
Unlike Tron, you feckers. Sounds like he's Irish or
The
Scottish. Irish, unlike
might
Tron. new.
Anyway, yeah,
Yeah,
we're not
fuckers.
saying we've done this perfectly, but
Yeah.
I think
the
we're gonna
reason we
get
chose
very
groundbreaking.
clear. I think we're gonna write out some clear things, and like when we do this next year for just the 2025 stuff, I think it'll be a little clearer.
Keeping it down to 1 year would be a
But,
lot
yeah.
easier.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we just kind of to start this off and kind of feel it out and figure out how we're gonna do it. We just did everything.
Here's a question: how long did the OG Battlestar Galactica last?
73 years.
No, no, not on TV. On that potential list of being groundbreaking.
Oh, it made the list. I think I wanted it to. I don't remember. I'd have to watch, but I think I wanted it to last because I thought the space shots and space battle shots seemed pretty groundbreaking for television to me. But it didn't.
I mean, when did that come out? Like the
2000.
The original OG, the
3,
original
4?
Battlestar.
Or you mean the 80s one?
Yeah, was it the 80s? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah was fighting for that one for a good bit. It just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
It got whittled out by the end. I think.
I mean, I can understand that.
5 beat it out, right?
I think so. Yeah, because Babylon 5 was kind of, they were the first to really do the 3D stuff for television. I think, weren't they? Like the station and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looks dated and kind of cheesy now, but at the time.
Yeah, but I think it was Battlestar, the OG Battlestar, and then Deep Space Nine and Babylon 5 kind of all duking it out for a little bit there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We'll be lucky if there are 5 sci-fi programs to choose from in a year. Oh, there will be.
Hopefully.
But the quality of them will be a whole different conversation.
Apple Plus will probably come through with one.
Hey, as long as we keep getting Foundation and it's as good as it is, I'm a happy camper to a degree. To a degree.
Is that like just called Foundation, or is that actually based off the Asimov?
Oh, it's based off of it, and
Is
it's
it? Okay.
really well done. And to get over, and I forget who doesn't like it. I don't think it's Mike in the chat. One of our member, I don't know, member or whatever. One of our typical SciTrekkers doesn't like it, but I think most of us typically do agree that it's kind of the best way they could have done it. Because it's so time skippy in all the Asimov Foundation novels, where the way they've made it work was Mike has not seen Foundation. It was not Mike.
You're 78, David? Really?
Damn.
Oh, snap. Yeah. Okay.
Did that one kick off with a miniseries or made for TV movie as well? I don't remember. But...
All right. Yeah. Well, the Foundation essentially just to clear up time, they've made clones a thing, and there's an emperor that is it's always a clone, but there's 3 versions of the clone, and they all share the same memories all at the same time, kind of deal. There's the younger version, which is like Brother Day. Brother Dawn is the main one, the emperor, and then Brother Dusk is the older, kind of elder statesman version of it. And that's the way they've kind of been able to keep some of the same cast members and play with the time stuff, because it gets screwy. Yeah. Speaking of good TV shows,
Buck Rogers. Just kidding.
My dad and I showed that to my niece when I was in town.
I love Twiggy growing up though. Beady 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 beep.
What have y'all seen this week?
Oh.
I've been plugging through For All Mankind, but
are you liking it more yet?
I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. I don't know. It's just not hitting me. So, and of course, Daredevil. Watching that. Watch some Star Trek. But I gotta watch Tremors this week.
Unless you want to do a stream on it, it'd be fun to do a stream on it. Because they do get increasingly cheesy and bad, but they never lose that B-movie joy, so you never don't have a good time watching a Tremors movie, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, I'm watching Daredevil. I've been on a reading kick lately. I haven't been watching much in the way of shows.
Mm-hmm.
You're enjoying Daredevil, huh?
I've been. Oh yeah, that show's great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not perfect. There's some stuff I would have been. I'm not sure why the hell they had that in there, but for the most part, it's really damn good. And here's the kicker to it. for sure the last 2 episodes are completely from the brand new retool. Like a lot of what we've seen so far still came from the original script.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I
Yeah.
know for sure the episodes 8 and 9 are completely brand new. Did not come from the old stuff at all. I'm not sure about episode 7 that comes out this week, but I know for sure the last 2 are brand new material.
Well, it's got to be at least the skeleton of it might be the same or might be different. Like, you know, it just depends, I guess, if the muscle and the skin around it end up being the same or not.
Yeah.
That metaphor got a little wild.
A little bit.
You do, don't you? You already do watch parties and such.
Yeah, I do. I do Traveler.
Yeah,
I'm doing a watch party for I've been doing a watch party for Daredevil since it's been out. I did one for Invincible. Going back, I did one for Skeleton Crew. I did one for Agatha. Yeah, like if it's a show I'm interested in, I'm definitely gonna do that. Oh, awesome. I don't know what time zone you're in, but I'm in the Eastern time zone, so all my streams are pretty much at 9 p.m. Eastern time.
And on Saturday.
Very free. Yeah, it's just on my little 256 subscriber channel. Totally free.
And go on Saturdays.
All hanging out in my channel costs you is time. And maybe a little sanity. But that's it. Nothing major. Not your soul. No limbs.
No blood.
Nothing. No blood. Nothing like that. But
I wasn't supposed to trade my soul with you the first time? Dang.
Ooh, wait. That's all right. I'm not actually streaming while the wife's sleeping, so I can actually go full Emperor cackle. With my emotion.
9 o'clock at night.
Fighting with Yoda. Yeah, I did one. You're right. Yes, David, I did one for Invincible. I did one back for X-Men 97. Oh, you don't say that, Mike, right? Don't say that.
But no, like if you go there, Traveler, to watch some of those streams, also go hang out on Saturdays because Chillin' always does a really good stream on Saturday nights. That
my Wednesday
typically are
ones are
longer
good
ones.
too, MFer. Yeah. Oh, dude, I went 4 hours last night.
Good Lord, that's like Stormy and I just talking science after like a 2-hour stream.
Yeah.
Ends up in a whole separate stream, and we're like, "What?
Yeah.
What have we done with the day?" Like,
well, I'll tell you. There was a lot of hitting my pen, and I was doing shots with chat.
God.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, is
Can you type by the end of it? Is the question.
I don't really need to type much, unless I.
What else have y'all seen this week?
That's it. I've only watched Daredevil and.
You got your stream link away?
Oh yeah, pull back out. My channel link is right there. That's my channel right there. But yeah, someone could throw one in the chat. I don't think I'm set up to throw it in the chat. Harris can throw
of course,
it in the chat.
the TV show's coming out this week, but y'all watch anything like special in theaters or sit down and watch something with the spouse? I almost said wife or husband. Or like,
if I do watch anything with the spouse, we're probably she hasn't seen all the Marvel yet, so we're slowly working our way through it. We're in phase 2 right now, I think.
What'd y'all watch?
Well, not recently. I'm just saying, if we've been watching movies together, I've been slowly bringing her through Marvel. So we're in phase 2 right now. You can still listen, David. You're not going to miss much looks wise. Let's be real here. No one comes to my streams for my face.
You know, just wake up and turn them on. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm always down for replay hours.
Sarah, you watch anything else this week?
That's pretty much it. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I can't remember what it was.
I was forgetting Daredevil until y'all both said Daredevil and was like,
yeah,
duh. You know, like, I was gone for a week, and I wasn't doing really good about watching movies the week or two before that. So this past week has been, y'all know I'm a crackhead for the movie theater. So I've been there a lot this week. Yeah. Yesterday, I watched Woman in the Yard, the horror movie, and then The Penguin Lessons. Both were good. Penguin Lessons.
Isn't Sydney Sweeney the lead in Woman in the Yard? Or who,
Uh,
I'm thinking of a different one. Never mind.
Yeah, a different one. But it was decent. It was a good one. It wasn't great or anything. It wasn't like groundbreaking or anything like that. But you know, the Penguin Lessons was just Steve Coogan and Jonathan Pryce and a couple other like British guys speaking Spanish in Argentina, and it was a really good little heartfelt family film. The Day the Earth Blew Up, the Looney Tunes movie, and Opus were both all right. A Working Man and Death of a Unicorn. My roommate and I both went to go see on Thursday as a double feature. The girl that gets kidnapped in A Working Man is his buddy, so like the lead actress technically for the film.
Oh, nice.
And we were like, oh yeah, we're gonna go see it. And
Regrets?
I had to look over at a certain point, and it was permission when I looked over and I saw that he wasn't enjoying the film. I leaned over and I was like, hey, this movie sucks, right? And he was like, yeah. A Working Man. David Ayer's made some great movies. Sylvester Stallone's made some great movies. I don't know if either one of them need to be writing movies anymore. A Working Man is one of the worst things I've ever seen in film. It is so bad. And it's got inklings of good things in it. It's got plenty of things that like, oh, if you actually would have like spent a little time and let something breathe, it would have been fine. When I leaned over and I kind of looked for permission from my roommate to be like, this sucks, right? Because, you know, obviously his friend is on the screen. We're like, oh, yeah, great. And she does fine. She does fine. She's not given any like good writing to really dive into. But she does fine with her role. So that part at least was okay. But okay is the word I would use.
Isn't Jason Statham kind of phoning it in at this point with that?
The same movie was made last year with The Beekeeper, essentially. And that was, there are parts of it that are like really bad, but there's parts of it that are really, really good. So it kind of like levels itself out, this movie. As I leaned over and was like, this movie sucks, I continued the sentence with, it feels like the only thing I've watched up until this point is an elongated trailer. We were at the end of the first act, and it's just the way it's cut. It's not even like a TikTok cut where like, this is happening over here, and this is happening over here. And now we're all like excited and colors are everywhere, jazz hands, woo! It's not like it's trying to like shoot the dopamine and serotonin up, you know? It's just like, it is cut like a trailer where it's just boom, 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 boom. And there's nothing that like lets you breathe at a certain point. And the slightest spoilers in the world, I don't even remember if it's in the trailer or not. But Jason Statham's dad, who, you know, of course, Jason Statham is ex-military man that I can't take care of my children anymore because the state took them. So my dad takes care of the kids and I just work and I sleep in my truck and da-da-da-da-da. But I don't want to do anything. Same thing. But the slight difference is his kid, the state took his daughter from him and says, okay, your dad has to take care of the daughter and so on and so forth. So grandpa's taking care of daughter. First time you meet grandpa, which is totally out of the blue, and it's never brought up again. Never once even like hinted at, mentioned, talked about, referred to, anything at all. You pull up to this little tea party. Jason Statham's driving his old Dodge truck, pull up to the tea party. And it's this like nice mansion looking house. It's like, okay, you got some witness protection. The state gave you a nice house. Cool. In the front of this, dad of Jason Statham, I guess he's not Jason Statham's dad. He's Jason Statham's ex-wife who is passed away in this movie. Her mother, so I guess dad, excuse me, mixing things up. Father-in-law. God dang, words are difficult right now. That movie just got me in an entire jumble up kind of mess. And to emphasize the mess, once again, not brought up, not mentioned, not referred to at all. You walk up to Jason Statham's father-in-law. That's what I was trying to find. He's a big giant. You expect him to sound like a Russian when he speaks, but he's just like an American dude with bad teeth. He's just this big, giant, hulking dude in a pink, fuzzy, big Russian hat, big like white overcoat. It looks like Jason Momoa in the Minecraft movie, but like worse. And it's not brought up again at all. Monk. I would rather watch movie 43 than A Working Man again. It was that bad.
Wow.
It was that bad, and it should have just been good. It should have just been a generic good movie, and it was so bad that I jokingly talked about walking out of the Monkey whenever my roommate and I went to go see that because it was just like so tonally different. But like both of the tones could have been really good movies if the Monkey was a comedy horror or just a strictly horror movie based off a Stephen King thing. Cool. The only movie I've like legitimately debated walking out of in recent memory was Expendables 4, and I would rather watch Expendables 4 over this. It was so bad. So we only stayed in the theater because both us and then the entire family, and we both have Regal Unlimited memberships. So what? The movie cost 50 cents for us.
Right.
The family in front of us probably spent 120, 150 bucks to be there. And by the time I leaned over and made the joke and was like, all right, like I could leave this movie. I actually said that. We just started making fun of the movie. I'm totally not the person who talks over movies in a movie theater. The whole family in front of us and us were just making jokes about the movie the entire time. And it was the only way that we could get our money worth out of that.
Wow.
Saw Death of a Unicorn after that. A24. Decent, good movie. Will Poulter is freaking great and hilarious in that. The movie's really good. It's not amazing or anything, but oh my God, it was the biggest palate cleanser ever after a Working Man. It was so needed. Like, I could smile again. It was nice. It was good. Off the soapbox, TV-wise, saw SG-1 a little bit while playing cards. Of course, Sarah and I watched some Farscape on Monday, so come tomorrow and hang out with us for some more Patreon Farscape. Farscapetrion, you might say. I finished Carol at the End of the World. I had 2 episodes of that on Netflix left, which was just a fun little quirky, fun, not so fun, quirky little comedy, semi-comedy. Common Side Effects, I caught back up on Max, and that's a really good one as well. Parks and Rec is what my roommate and I watch just throughout the week, kind of like for lunch or dinner or something like that. So that's always hilarious. And then Invincible, of course, and Daredevil. And 1923. 1923 and Daredevil are keeping the weeks interesting right now. But that was a lot. Y'all can tell I've been wanting to yell about a Working Man for a couple of days now.
No, really?
What?
That hasn't been weighing on your mind at all. I don't know what the crap you're talking
No,
about.
not at all. Oh God, David couldn't even get through The Beekeeper. Do not go watch a Working Man. Oh my God. Can y'all think of anything else? Any housekeeping or anything that y'all would like to do? Anything y'all want to promote or advertise before we kind of start hopping out of here?
No, we're just doing our Farscape trial. Are we doing an Outpost on Wednesday?
I believe so.
Yeah, just
We don't have a specific topic, but we can think of that up in the next couple of days.
Figure it out.
Yeah, I've just got what I already talked about. I'm watching Daredevil on Tuesdays, watch parties at 9 p.m. Eastern. My regular Wednesday and Saturday night streams, just, which is, covering all the news and stuff, all the rumors and scoops. And then, of course, we also engage in speculation and stuff like that. And so that's what the Wednesday and Saturday night streams are for. And those are at 9 p.m. Eastern. Trying to think of what shows are coming up. I'm not doing watch party for
Andor. Season 2.
I'm not doing a watch party for that because those morons with the release schedule, it's just effing stupid. 3 episodes a week for 4 weeks. That's the Andor release schedule.
That's weird.
It's I get it.
2 or 3?
Yeah. They're doing basically every three episodes is a 1-year arc. That's how they're setting this up to take them right into Rogue One. So evidently they've chosen to give us a year, one entire year arc a week for 4 weeks. That's it.
What show? Because it's Disney's doing it because of a show. I just can't remember which one it is. Because obviously Daredevil leads into Andor, then Andor leads into what again?
I believe no, like on Disney. Canonically, yeah, but like show-wise on Disney Plus release schedule, I believe the next one, I think we jump back to Marvel for Ironheart. I think that's June or July.
Oh, and that's why, because we get
That's the
late
only reason,
April.
because there's
Yeah.
there's nothing for Star Wars after Andor TV wise.
Mhm.
Well, Vision season 3. I'm pretty
Do
sure
you
that
think
comes
they're
out
probably
this
going to
year.
drop that May 4th if they do?
Ooh, maybe either
That's
that.
when they
Well,
drop.
yeah, because Andor premieres the same week as Celebration, so they're kind of doing what Marvel did not last year but the year before at SDC with Deadpool.
Mhm.
Like how Deadpool came out the same week as SDC, so they used like their first 3 days there just to pump Deadpool before that. No, this was last year. Yeah, this is all the same thing. Yeah, like because Deadpool premiered the week of SDCC last year, so like Thursday or Wednesday and Thursday, Marvel was just pushing that hard. They had all kinds of Deadpool stuff in their halls. Showed the movie to those that were in Hall H on Thursday night, so or Wednesday night. So it's kind of sounds like that sort of. I don't know if they're doing it that way on purpose, but that's kind of how it's working out with Andor and Celebration. They're the same week as well. If they're smart, they'll try and do that the same way and just promote the hell out of Andor.
Yeah.
It just like I get the reasoning behind doing it, but you heard what Gilroy said. Gilroy was like, "I told them not to do this, and they're doing it anyway." I don't know if Disney is hearing the right thing whenever they hear constructive criticism sometimes.
Yeah, but yeah, that release schedule is ridiculous. So no, I'm not doing a watch party for that. My plans for watch parties the rest of the year, I will probably do a watch party for the premiere of most of these shows. What's coming up? But whether I continue to will be up to how the premiere hits me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna waste my time watching a show like that. I'm like. Or at least I'm not going to watch it at a set time. It's like, okay, maybe I'll come back to this later on my own time.
Okay, well, I was just about to ask because we'll probably do afterthoughts the day after, just so it's a little bit easier to watch. If you're down and have watched, always welcome.
When does?
Yeah.
I mean, let me check something here.
Well, we know who's the most excited person that we all know for Andor.
Yeah, he's looking forward to that. Probably even less than he'd be looking forward to a colonoscopy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Justin is not down. Okay, yeah. Ironheart comes out June 24th, which is pretty much right after Andor ends.
Okay, because I knew they had like a sequential shows kind of.
Well, they're dropping 6 Disney Plus Marvel projects this year, 3 live action and 3 animated. So
I thought we were slowing down.
Well, they are, but this is a phase 4 and 5 product dump.
This is the bookmark. Yeah.
Literally, because
you know what I mean. Yeah.
Ironheart's been done for over a year. Eyes of Wakanda was conceived like a year or 2 ago. Zombies. We still have Wonder Man, and I'm still wondering, why that show exists.
It sounds interesting, but also it's not necessary.
Exactly. Yeah. What have we had? Yeah, so we got 4 projects left. Ironheart in June. Then we switched to animation, I believe. Zombies is October. Eyes of Wakanda, I think, is also late in the year, and then in December is Wonder Man.
I actually like the Eyes of Wakanda idea. At first, I was like, "Why? What? Like, what's the point?" But then I kind of read into it. I like that it's like a mini-series aspect at least. It is.
Yeah, it's an anthology.
Yeah, it's purposeful in what it wants to be, which I enjoy. Rather than here's a season of something.
Here's the fun part: both Eyes of Wakanda and Zombies are only 4 episodes each.
Oh, Zombies is only 4 too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I'm always in for Zombies anything, just about. But, that's almost just to turn the brain off and woo, for a little bit. But if
so animation, they've got 2 animation shows, but a total of 8 episodes between the 2. Like the only extended one we're getting this year which is what we already got, which is Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Which, if anyone in chat has not watched Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, that show is freaking amazing.
I watched some of it with my roommate. I couldn't do anything but just roll my eyes over and over again.
Really?
it was like I like all the cast, but I'm just like, what is the point of this? Who did they make it for, and why are they wasting money and time? Because it was a colossal waste of money and time. Whether it was a super expensive or not, that money could have been used elsewhere and actually made sense.
I don't know. Most of the people that I've talked to are like, this is this next best animated show right behind X-Men 97. And a lot of that is more due to the story than the animation. Because I will not lie. The animation in that show in a few places was whack. Like it was kind of like Invincible. Like the normal parts of the story, they obviously didn't spend anywhere near as much money on as they did the action parts of the story.
Yeah,
the action parts of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, again similar to Invincible, were awesome, animation wise. But the story itself was really compelling, I thought.
Well, that's good. That's good. That's the most important part. And obviously, I don't like saying everything I just said about really anything, but it's also, I wouldn't feel that way if it weren't part of the MCU. If it were just like Spider-Man adjacent, and if it were like the Spider-Verse folks doing it, if it was Lord Miller maybe doing something like that, sure, that makes perfect sense, and you can find a way to tie that in somewhere. Yeah. But within the MCU, it just feels wasteful. But yeah. Hey, Scott, I didn't realize you were in Joburg. Cool. I'm going to be in Joburg. Well, I guess not this year. Next year.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah. So ignore Harris, watch Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Moon Knight did not get renewed. There was talk of it for a hot minute, but it has not been renewed. Next time you see Oscar Isaac will probably be May 2027.
I'm sure they're still going to use Moon Knight. It was in that leaked script for King Dynasty or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which that was a good script, actually. Jeff Loveness is not going to get a chance to make a big movie like that again for a while, though.
Not after Quantumania, he's not.
No.
Although I do partially blame Marvel for that, because Kevin got a bug up his ass about leakers and completely changed the ending to something that was so not good for the character of King at all.
Like, you just can't have a big bad and have him losing to everybody over and over again and then actually make him feel threatening. Like, they're just...
Exactly. He was threatening right up until the end, though. Like, Majors was acting the hell out of that role. And I'll never knock Majors' acting ability. That dude can act his ace off. I mean, I did not like Timely. I didn't like Victor Timely much. But He Who Remains and The Conqueror, give me that shit all day. But yeah, then they had him lose. I mean, it's one thing to lose to like a main hero. They made him lose to the friggin' Ant family, bro.
And I love some Ant-Man. I mean, Ant-Man's like the OG Avenger outside of like Captain Frickin' America. But
right. Well, Michael Douglas's Ant-Man is the OG Avenger. It's Hank Pym is the OG Avenger.
And it just still, it doesn't make any sense. You can't have. I mean, if he were Giant Man, whenever that happened. Different conversation. If he would have like swatted King like an ant or kicked him like an ant or something,
maybe. I still don't think King the Conqueror should lose to the Ant family in any way, shape, or form. Like, nobody had to die necessarily. He could have just taken him to Pound Town, left him lying there broken and bleeding, and then hopped in his little vehicle and scooted his way out of the quantum realm, and then out into the multiverse to wreak havoc, and then we'd have had a good setup.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
And I'm not even that creative, and I realize that. So what does that tell you?
Like, literally, I don't understand how, like, just walking around LA, like, who, what, why, when, where, how did this happen?
Pull up Mike Wright's comment. That shit's hilarious.
Where's the magnifying?
Yeah, I'm gonna cook your little ass, bitch.
Did Majors pretty much ruin things, though? He didn't help.
Off screen, that's not good. Yeah. Off screen was not good. I'm not going to get started on that, but I'm just
that's a whole different conversation for a whole another day.
All right, guys, I got to get out of here. So
I was just about to say, 2 hours 45 minutes into this thing,
Yep.
Thank you all for hanging. Thank you, Jay, for being here earlier, of course, as always.
Yep.
Jennifer Salke news. That was a lot of fun, and it was definitely interesting. That's going to be interesting, and I know if you want to talk about that anytime, chilling.
Yeah. Well, I talked about it some on my own stream last night, and since you're trying to get out of here, I'll just throw in like 2 pennies worth in. My biggest concern is how the new bosses are going to feel, not about things that are already in existence, but what havoc they're going to wreak with stuff that's currently in development, which is what Stargate falls under.
Yeah.
Which is what Warhammer falls under. If you're a Warhammer fan or a Cavill stan, which is what I am. I'm not big into Warhammer, but I am a massive Cavill stan. So I don't want to see that go away. And then, if you're a lover of the Boys universe, they got 6 freaking spin-offs they're thinking about doing. Like more Gen V, they're supposed to do like a straight up Ackles show, like about what's his face.
Well, it's Ackles and Stormfront, right?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, cool.
Yep, that's one of the planned ones. They got 2 or 3 or 4 other ones that I've seen ideas for kicking around. I don't know how well they're going to go or even how much they're going to do, but I'm just saying there's stuff being talked about and in development that some people might want that's probably just going to go and never even see, maybe not even get anything written beyond the proposal. So that's my main concern. I'm not worried about stuff that's currently going, although if they got rid of Rings of Power, that'd probably be a really good idea. How many more people from Supernatural are going into the Boys? All of them.
Yeah, officially at least 3 more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kripke's getting the band back together for sure. I always like to think of this too. How wild would Supernatural have been if Kripke had the freedom he has now instead of that show being on the CW? Just think how wild Supernatural would have been, seeing his instincts for the Boys.
I haven't watched a whole bunch of Supernatural, but I know it gets crazy just from hearing y'all talk about it, Chaz talk about everybody.
Yeah, he pushed it as far as the CW would let him go, and probably farther than they originally planned. Yeah, with some of the stuff he did on that show, but God, that show would have been nuts on a pay platform.
Yeah, I know Sarah's a big Supernatural person.
Oh, that show's great. I've seen every single episode. I got into it a little late. I had to catch up, but it was on Netflix, so I just binged the ever-loving snot out of it. And I got my wife watching it now. She's kind of taking a break from it, but she's already up to season 5, I think.
I want an Impala now.
Right? Carry on my way with sun. Yeah.
Well, I think that's it for us today. Obviously, go check Chilling Out on watch parties and Saturdays.
Wednesdays.
And Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And Sarah is figuring out a channel or some playlist to toss on. But come check out Farscape's on with us tomorrow for Patreon stuff. Stargate Outpost on Wednesday. We should have a Radical Wasteland this coming Friday as well with Greg and I. And we'll meet you back here in a week for more Chevron Awards, of course.
Right.
Oh, and well, we were just thanking Jay for being here, but of course, with the whole Jennifer Salke news, if y'all have not seen Jay's video on Tachyon Pulse, go check out our sister channel, and it's more succinct, efficient version of the news from today. But if you want to hear all the fun kind of, well, this could happen, well, that could have happened, well, what does this mean? Watch back the first hour from today.
The usual time, David, just so you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
10:15 PST. So 6 or 8 hours after that, which is usually 6 y'all's time, British Standard Time, I believe.
Yeah.
Or GMT, BST, whatever the
GMT.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, you know what we're trying to do. You know the deal.
Yep.
During dinner time, basically.
Yeah.
Watch and eat. You can watch and eat.
And come hang out. It'll be a good one. But this has been Sci-Fi Sundays. Thank you all for being here, Aaron and Sarah.
It's always fun when I get to come on.
I know it's a 3-hour one too, just about. So we had a damn good time.
Yep. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard is my general streaming times. Watch parties may vary depending on like if a show's dropping multiple episodes or whatever, but pretty much it's 9 p.m. Eastern is the standard operating. It's SOP.
Yeah. Okay.
But all right, y'all. We will see y'all soon. Tomorrow for Patreon and throughout the week, of course. But we will see you, of course, next Sunday for Sci-Fi Sundays. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your week. And adios.
No one can see me. I'm waving.